guys know it is Drunken Chat, son.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chitlins, Greens, and Cornbread with its Drunken Chat Son on the Comic Crusaders Network for another night of break checking our livers and our freaking lungs and hanging out and just talking, whatever about comic books, cards, movies, and what like. I want to thank you all that have been hanging out waiting for me while I try and get myself together. Thank you to GT Key Comics. Thanks for hanging out in there, man. Thank you to Spec Media. Looks like you're new. Thank you to Manny the Comic Collector. Thank you. Um, got it's going to be an interesting weekend to talk about stuff because this is Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody's going to have a nice and safe weekend. But there wasn't a lot of stuff that was coming out. Hey, what's going on? I'm going to give a shout out to Wicked Fighter 80 as well. Um, it's because a lot of the publisher and distributors were going to shut down, so they weren't going to push out a lot of stuff. But on the other hand, what ended up happening is they ended up pushing a lot of stuff earlier than they normally would have, as far as delivery of a lot of stuff. Hey, what's going on there, Will Flow 81? Right now I'm going solo while the rest of the guys are catching up. Some guys are still on their way home. Some guys are just on an airplane right now. I just wanted to get it early so I can get in, break open my bottles, and wait for these guys to get on in here. But I will. We can start go into some of the topics, and then we will eventually come back to those guys. And of course, if you guys have any thoughts or comments or questions, you can absolutely we can ask them while I'm going into this. So first of all, let me go into what type of alcohol I got teed up. I'm still working on the 1800 Cristalino Anejo. Um, Inside of Mexico, it was just called the Diamante, the 1800 Diamante, which was kind of interesting. In the bottle, just looks like a big old freaking diamond. Let me go ahead and sip this real quick. Stand by. Yes, absolutely. Welcome. I tell you what, the steel one, this this tequila doesn't go down as smooth as the Mexican counterpart. Hey, what's going on, Raymond Camacho? Hey, what's going on, Dwayne Scott? You know what? I tell you what, there's a lot of interesting there was some interesting spec books and some spec stuff that was happening this past weekend. You guys were already tracking because we guys hit you up. Hey, what's going on, DJ Room Comics? What's going on, man? Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and freaking get into what's going on right now. So I want to do a first of all a memoriam into Tina Turner, who passed away this past weekend. Um, 84 years old. Apparently, she was already sick. She passed away. I think she was in Switzerland or something like that, over in Europe when it happened. But yeah, 84 years old, had a full life. If there was any woman, black woman, that kind of defined the 80s for me, uh, definitely Tina Turner would be at the top of the list, right under Clara Huxtable. You know, and I struggle to think of like any other one except for like the one black chick from Conan the Barbarian, So, but Tina Turner just epitomized her and Whitney Houston. There you go. Tina Turner, Whitney Houston epitomized the '80s when it came down to all that stuff. Even though she was more like '60s through '70s and everything. Absolutely, Dwayne Scott says, "Rest in power." Absolutely. Um, So once again, we're going to get into a little bit of the green stuff that I got to force down your throat and make sure that you guys understand what's going on. And once again, this is coming from the Comic Crusaders, our connections, and everybody telling us what's going on. And if you guys are interested in how to take advantage of that stuff, please make sure you check out the Vashina CC at Shopify or our pull box, where we talk about comics, games, toys, and cards. Yes, that's exactly who I was talking about, but I can't remember her name. She was the lady with the spear, right? The wooden spear. Grace Jones. There you go. There you go. Good shout out for Danger Room Comics. Okay, so this was huge news, right? Maybe not for the average consumer because all you guys care about is, hey, Is it on the shelf? Is it going to be in my box on time? Um, Image Comics, which was formerly distributed by Diamond Comics, in the summertime is going to switch over to Lunar. Okay, that's pretty big because Diamond has already been losing a whole bunch. They lost IDW, they lost Dark Horse, um, they lost Oni, which does like Rick and Morty and all that other stuff. So for them to lose Image, which was like it's a hefty freaking thing. Um, it's pretty interesting. Now from the retailer side, there's all type of stuff they got to work out work out. This is when will Image begin soliciting with Lunar distribution? It says the first solicitations will be in July for sale in September. When is the hard cutoff date for the products to be shipped by Diamond? Image and Diamond are currently working on the schedule for when the final date will be for the product that will be shipped from Diamond. And will there be any Image discount tiers? This is where it gets a little interesting. I'm not sure they got it figured out. It says your current Diamond discount will be honored at Lunar distribution during the transfer process. So for some retailers, that actually screws them over because if you're good on your Lunar discount and you're getting your 50%, but you get a horrible discount through Diamond, you're kind of getting screwed over because it's just going to freaking carry over. So Dwayne Scott says Boom is the last one. Um, yes, you got Boom, and then you've got Xenoscope, Dynamite. Those are the last ones. Um, so we'll see how it goes. When I went to the retailer workshop in Baltimore, they were talking about they wanted to focus more on the Wizards of the Coast stuff, the RPG, the games, and focus a lot more on giving uh, comic book stuff, comic book publishers from like overseas, like Korea and Taiwan, more of a shot and a better tier when it comes to actually penning through Diamond. So I think that's where they want to go. So once again, that was your greens very quickly. We're also tracking the stuff about the foil stuff, which is a lot of retailers. Once again, retailers got to make sure that they pay attention to that stuff because a lot of the foil stuff that is coming out through Marvel is not going to have like any type of discount, and if it does have a discount, it's going to be very small. So I want retailers to keep an eye out for that stuff as you're ordering that stuff for your customers. Um, Once again, this was I am Chitlins Greens and Cornbread. Um, And once again, if you want to hook up with us and you want to see more of the content from ComicCrusaders.com, you can hit us up on our new channel on Whatnot. We're getting ready to put everything together for a good sale. We also have a lot more content on YouTube. I'm putting together stuff for our Comic Crusaders on TikTok and all that other stuff. So just go ahead if you can subscribe to all those channels. In fact, as soon as one of those other guys comes in, I'll post a link to the Comic Crusaders YouTube so you guys can go ahead and click the link to help us out that way. Big Remo's in the house. He's in the chat. He says he is on his way. Okay. So, in fact, I will wait till those guys come in before I go into all the movie news. But I will at least start us off on a little treaty as far as what is going on as far as you know, going on in the comic book world. So right now, as far as the comics that were on pre-sale, and in fact, when I just want you guys to know that when I look at what's going on sale and what is selling the most, I use TerraPeak, which is the tool that eBay has set up to kind of scrape the data, right, and provide it to the people that are selling, right. So the number one comic that's sold within the last 7 days through eBay. That's the second uh secondary freaking retailers is that Amazing Spider-Man at number 26, that spoiler variant, which was very interesting to me because you would have thought that after the whole Hundago of the leak of what's actually going to happen inside Amazing Spider-Man number 26, you would have thought, oh, okay, well, people are not going to buy it. Well, that's not the case. Even after people find out about what's going on inside the book, it's still selling well. In fact, it was the number one seller seller this past week. Wookie Fighter says Crusader is putting out great content on YouTube for sure. Hey, we're trying to get everything squared away. You just gotta let us know what other content you want. Um, but some of those people they because they don't do live like Drunken Chat does, they don't get that good feedback from everybody. So just yeah, absolutely check them out and freaking give them the thumbs down, tell them where they're jacked up, tell them how they could be better and what other type of content you want to see. Mandy Comic Collector says he pre-ordered 3 copies of that Hulk 181 foil at $3.15 a piece. That is amazing because I believe it's a lot more expensive than that. I forget how much what the actual price on, but it's not. It's not $3.99. So for some weirdo to be out there selling it for $3.15 a piece, that's amazing. Tino73 says this drunken chat son, absolutely, absolutely. And hey, don't feel shy. If you guys want to shout out what you guys are drinking or smoking, absolutely shout that out in the chat. Um, Mojo Chris says, remember that Willie D song, Bald Headed Hose? I don't remember that one. Um, and then many comic collector before it also says, you've seen the spoiler variant for Spider-Man 26. How disappointing! What a waste of cover. Um, in fact, I've got the book right here. I've got the book right here. I'm not going to open it because I've seen some weird reporting of people talking about, well, somebody said it was Marvel that leaked it and told everybody about it, but it really wasn't Marvel really. So um, I'm going to keep my ass out of legal trouble right now and keep it 100. We can keep it smoothie. Yeah, and then Dwayne Scott says you might as well spoil it the ACM as it was a meta event. It kind of was, but they're reading through it because I've read through the whole event and what was leading up to it. I feel like there's a way for them to back out of it, right? Coming out of the Miles Morales stuff, because once again, Miles Morales, he did have a deal with the devil to bring her back to life anyway. Um, and then the whole shapeshifter, person was a shapeshifter. There's all, and now you also got these scroll events coming up. There's always all types of ways for them to back out of this, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, who you thought was that person was not that person. So it's going to get crazy. Economics Comics just posted a video saying he's selling those foil Hulks for way less than cover. Could have been him. All right, let's see. Um, see if I can pull that up and see what it's actually supposed to be selling for. Man, it's the Emperor. I got my copies off of T-Fall. All right, and then Wicked Fighter says he's being a little B this Friday. He's drinking twisted tea by the fire pit tonight. That's all right, man. Just to if you wonder if it could take it slow, take it slow. That way you are up and ready to party the rest of the weekend because it's going to be a long weekend, right? Well, at least for some of us, it's going to be a long weekend. Um, but number 2 on pre-sales this weekend. Amazing Spider-Man 300, that facsimile, which is supposed to come out June 20th. Average sale on that one was at $6.31. Let's see, Hulk for 181. Okay. Um, then Detective Comics number 10 to 72 that covered A that even Kago that's supposed to come out. I think that was actually supposed to either come out this week or next week, but I think it was supposed to already have come. Yeah, it was supposed to have already come out. So I'm looking right now at the foil. Actually, I don't see the foil in here. Here you go. Facsimile edition product update on 5/24. This was 2 days ago. The price was changed from $3.99 to the new price of $4.50. So yeah, really good deal. 5/20 discount change from D standard discount to J net cost. The price on this foil variant has changed from $3.99 to the new price of $4.50 net. So the cost to the retailer just by themselves is $4.50, according to this, according to what they got in Diamond. So Good luck. Good luck to those people. I hope I don't have any freaking Frizzell because I'll sure enough renege on that shit. Um, Manny says that he truly believes that Marvel leaked ASM number 26 to hype up the Marvel movie. Maybe, maybe. Yeah, Tifal is still 315 for foil. That's crazy. I hope maybe they're hoping to get their stuff back on shipping because a lot of stores do that. They don't care like how much they sell. They can sell it for $1 as long as they get their lick back on shipping. They'll straight. And then Incredible Hulk 181 Facsimile Foil. This is exactly the same book that we're talking about. The average selling price. The average selling price of that book that people are selling it for right now is $2.82. That's crazy. That's mad. Absolutely madness. Just what I said that the discount change from D standard discount to J net cost price. Yeah, it's a net cost item. So the price on the foil is not $3.99. It's $4.50 net. So that's $450 net is what it's costing the retailers for that. So, but so yeah, I understand. Um, Tfal shipping is a mess, but you know what? In this case, it's actually not their fault because this thing. I'm looking at the note. The note just came out. First note came out on the 23rd, which was 3 days ago. And in order to get into the game, you got to get your stuff out at least a week ahead of time, or at least by Monday. And then you just set it up and don't look at it. And then product update, discount change from DStandard to JNet. Then they did it again. They put it again in there. Price has changed from $3.99. So God bless default. They know that they honor it. God bless them. All right, going back to the books that were on that were hitting hot. Death of the Venomverse, number 2. It's the design variant. It says Kid Venom designed by Tagami. Then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Yeah, number 6 is Punisher number 12. That's supposed to be on sale next week. And then next is Wonder Woman number 18800. We've been talking about this for a while. That is the Trinity cover. First appearance of Wonder Woman's daughter. That's not due out till June 20th. And then sort of an outlier that I didn't really see coming is Clobbering Time number 3. That one's going on sale next week. I'm not tracking um a new character in there, but there has been a character that has been around since the first issue. But maybe what's happening, but he's kind of had a mask on, a whole costume on. So maybe this is the issue that people are tracking that you actually get to see this person's like full face or something like that. Yeah, Dr. Lovebox says that the stores are pissed that they can't just poop out these random foils because Marvel is doing their own now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could care less about the foils. I mean, unless it's like a 150 or something like that. But what's interesting is Marvel is not doing foil like incentives. They're just like, hey, you want this foil? Just pay like a few extra bucks more. That's what's crazy. I think. In fact, where was I? In fact, DC, I guess they're starting to do it now, right? Because what just came out this past week? This is the Power Girl art germ. Yeah, the Power Girl. Oh, there we go. That shit is so shiny you can't even freaking see that motherfucker. Yeah, the Power Girl art germ. Yeah, Power Girl art germ. Power Girl number 1 art germ, and that was a foil. Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and take one more sip. And then let's hey, what's going on, Tony Fix? Nice to see you, brother. And then let's start to mosey on into some of this FOC stuff. All right. First up is going to be the Star Wars The High Republic Adventures number 8 by Dark Horse. IDW has Frank Frazetta's Mothman number 2. Looks like a crazy, amazing poster. Then they've got this NES homage, which is a 1 of 5. Then they've got this amazing cover. It's a 1 in 10. Then they've got another homage for St. Julian's Drag Queen, 1 in 5. Earth Diver number 8, 1 in 10 by Albuquerque. Then there's a 1 in 25. Hunger and Dusk number 1, 1 in 25 by Wild Goose. My Little Pony by Jasuda, 1 in 10. Here's your 1 in 50 for Hunger and Dusk. Here's your 1 in 75 and Hyuk Lee. Then there's a 1 in 100 Gold Chiang. A 1 in 25 by Bartok. 1 in 50 by Simone. 1 in 100 by Ecorzus. 1 in 10 by Gibson. It's kind of like a video game homage, but like an actual video game. Then you got an Arcade Kings number 2, 1 in 25 by Burnett. Now this one I actually read. It's Bone Orchard Tenement number 1. It's about a haunted building, and it's about the 7 people that are trapped and they actually live inside this building, but they don't know it's haunted yet. So it's a whole bunch of setup. Nothing actually happens yet, but who knows what can happen with this story. Written by Jeff Lemire, by the way. Black Cloak number 6 by Lotte. Then back to Born Orchard Tenement, 1 in 50 by Serenity. 1 in 100 by Moore. I Hate Fairland, number 6 by Momoko. Then there's your Powell, Eric Powell. My Foot. King Spawn, really great cover for issue number 323 by Stevens. Cover B by Tomaselli. Cover C by Hans. Stephanie Hans for Walking Dead, number 65. Back to I Hate Fairyland by Momoko, the explicit variant. Aliens number 3, 1 in 25 by Song Han Yoon. Amazing Spider-Man number 122 gets a facsimile. Number 25 gets a 125 for the second print by Romita Jr. Number 28 for Amazing Spider-Man gets a 1 in 50 by Oliver Coppel. And then Amazing Spider-Man number 28 is by Warnick. And then Avengers number 1 has a second print by Derek Chu. Okay, so that's the last of the second print. So before I go into more of the stuff, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break. See, make sure I can find the right stuff. Yep, we're going to take a little bit of a break so I can refresh my drink, and then we'll be back with a few more. All right, that was into the that was Crisis in the Toyverse with Bobo, who loves to check out toys. I see we have the man that I hope to be one day. What's going on, Big Remo?
What's going on, man? Everything good in the neighborhood?
Yeah, man, freaking trying to chill, trying to freaking just get stuff ready for the barbecue, man. But just shit, just all fucked up, man. So
Brother, the sun is still out in the West Coast, just so you
it's
know.
still out on the West Coast. Shit.
I said the sun ain't gone down yet. We're gonna talk about that.
I'm over here, worried about people going to sleep. Like y'all over there, fucking just chilling, man. Fucking
Hell
just getting coming
nah.
home and shit.
Yeah, it's going down. Shit.
But
And shout out to Mojo Quid. Yeah, ball head hoes. Yes, that was the gym.
but yeah, man. So no, of course, got to try a freaking barbecue this weekend, man. So it's like
Yeah,
starting
man.
to get everything cleaned out and shit, right? And then my wife was getting ready to clean out the grill, and she opened up that motherfucker, and there was a bird's nest
Yeah,
in
man.
that motherfucker, man.
I got
It
a flat top out on my patio. I ain't bust that thing out in like 2 summers, man. I gotta go and re-season it. Yeah.
shit. No, man, but there was there was 3 little baby birds in that motherfucker, like, and that
Oh man.
that fucking shit was taking up the whole down joint, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave these little motherfuckers alone and shit, right? So I
I'm
left the
buying new
motherfuckers
one.
alone. And then but that was a couple weeks ago. And then last week, fucking AC in the house fucking went out.
Mm.
And I was like, ain't no way I know the fucking AC is fucked up because this house is only like 5 years old, man. Ain't no
Mm.
fucking way.
Yeah.
So I got the guy to come out and he goes, he's like, yeah, man, freaking yeah, so it looks like you got some animals that been messing around with the freaking tubing and shit. And I'm looking at it because there's like just like these 2 tubes that go into the big unit, right? And
Right.
freaking looks like they've been taking strips off the tarp that goes around the tubes and everything. I was like, man, these motherfuckers. I was like, it's like we don't got squares, but we got rabbits. I was like, we got rabbits and birds, and I don't think we got bears too, but I don't think the bears will be fucking around with that shit, right? So I was like, all right,
Pour it up.
yeah. So finally on Monday, so we got it fixed, and then Monday, sure enough, I was like, man, we're gonna have to do something with these birds, replace for something. So open up the shit. Birds are gone. Birds are now gone. But as I'm looking at the fucking nest, what they were doing is they were taking the strips off that fucking tarp with the HVAC.
And using it.
They're using that shit, man. Because I know what I think what happened is because it was warm for a while, then all of a sudden it just got cold, like cold real quick.
Yeah.
So I think the bird went down there to fucking kind of insulate that motherfucker,
Yeah,
and they were using it.
figure out something.
I was like, God.
Wifey was like, I'm cold at night. Damn. Figure it out.
I tell you what, if I see that bird in the street, me and him and her, we're gonna have a misunderstanding, man.
Yeah,
I'm an environmentalist and I love animals, but
hey, them
that
birds
motherfucker
gonna
cost
be
me
on
$300.
I'd have to throw them bad boys on the grill. They would have been
Tell you
some
what,
Cornish game.
let me come across some more bird eggs. I can tell you what, I'm gonna have some omelets.
I know that's right.
But
Nah,
hey,
yeah,
what's going on, man?
I think I'm gonna grab one. My grill broke, and I ain't bought one. And my wife's been saying we need to have one, so I might have to go pick one up from Target or something.
Hey, what's going on, Newbie Comics? Hey, freaking, if you want to come in, freaking, let me know. Freaking, we'll get you the link. Hey, what's going on, Undercover Capes? That is part of the Brotherhood of Comic Crusaders. You got the freaking link, so just come on in if you want to. It's always a pleasure to have another piece of the Comic Crusaders freaking network. So what I was actually discussing before you came on was a little while ago was this whole thing. Image is now moving over to Lunar. They dumped Diamond distribution. Now Diamond is going to be a wholesaler. That means they get their stuff from Lunar.
Right.
Oh,
I heard pieces of this. I've been so swamped at work, but like I heard pieces of it, but I I didn't know like kind of what like the impact would have been to the game, because I figure like if Image went to Lunar, it was probably in their best interest, but I don't know what type of a position that leaves Diamond in at this point. You know what I mean? So I've tried to keep like trying to hear some things, but like I said, I've only heard pieces.
Yeah, all I know is that Lunar tends to package their stuff a whole lot better. Right. When it comes to shipping charges, Lunar doesn't fuck around like Diamond does. Like Diamond you fuck around with them, they'll ship you $5 in a box and charge you full price for that motherfucker. Like
Lunar does, or
no, Diamond does.
Oh,
Diamond does a lot of weird shit, right? Just to
right.
freaking make money on shipping, right?
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like they'll ship an empty box with nothing but the previews in that motherfucker. Like what the fuck you
And invoice you for it?
Yeah, and invoice you for it. like in the meantime, the shit that you actually fucking eat, they don't put that shit in there. Like for instance, there's a whole bunch of Bowman cards and Topps cards was supposed to come out this week. I didn't get that shit.
Wow.
So
they did it to themselves, I take it, and this is kind of like their last hold of the game was Image, and Image is gone now.
Right, because here's what I know. I know that a lot of the publishers have been going and talking to a lot of the retailers like behind Diamond's back, and saying, "Hey, how come you haven't been ordering more?" And I guarantee you the answer has been number one, like, "Hey, we're tired of all the weird, crazy ass shipping charges, right?" Which is weird, right?
And the retailers have been going to the bigger companies directly and saying, "Hey,
right." Well, the bigger companies,
the other way around. You're saying that the
companies have been going straight to the retailers, like for instance, and like, hey, just taking a regular old survey just to figure out like how everything's going, right? And they're like, hey, these are the boom, boom, boom. These are the problems, right? Number one, that's always been. We even talked about it at the retailer summit out in Baltimore. They'd say, hey, Diamond, we still having issues with shipping. We don't understand why you're fucking shipping so much. And then when you ship stuff that you're supposed to ship, stuff is all freaking jacked up. Like they okay, we're gonna put this divider in between the books so there's a slip. I freaking open up the fucking shit's just fucking turned up, rolled over, and everything. Like,
Yeah, I was talking to my LCS and he said that hands down that everything he gets from Lunar is perfect. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been any issues. Like, and he just hates Diamond, and this is probably I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. I'm gonna go in the morning. I gotta go pick up some books, but I think that might be the topic I ask him about, though.
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna front and say that Lunar has been 100% perfect.
No, well, I guess that's
what I will say. Yeah, what I will say is that since Lunar has taken over, and if you compare Lunar to Diamond, right, neck and neck, Lunar just fucking kills them. Now, Penguin Random House, right, their shit has been jacked up as well, but theirs has more been a thing of in order to not have to charge people that much on shipping, the books have had to become lighter. Therefore, the paper has had to be a little bit more shit. Right?
Okay. So who do you go through for Lunar? Like who's under Lunar? Who's under that umbrella? Everybody.
Number one is DC. Okay. Scout Comics, Oni. In fact, let me pull up the list real quick.
The Penguin Random House is where Marvel is.
Yep, Marvel, IDW, and soon it's going to be all Dark Horse.
So you're saying basically anything that comes through Penguin Random House is probably going to be on a lower quality of money, or not money, as far as like books are going to be a thinner, more prone to
damages,
rub, less 9/8, beat up incentives. Not beat up, but like less than quality incentives.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at it now. So Ahoy, AWA Studios, of course DC Comics, Mad Cave Studios, Oni Press, Source Point Press, Sumerian, Vault Comics, Z2, and Z2, and that's it.
Okay. So it's like a split thing. It's pretty much Diamond was there kind of. Who did Diamond have? Why was Diamond still a player when you have Lunar and Penguin Random House with most of the major companies? Why was Diamond still able to kind of stick around? Just because of Image?
Image, because of Image, Boom, Xenoscope, Dynamite. They actually did a really good job of trying to update their point of sale systems. So anytime I want to order something, they've got a really good system where I don't have to. The customer can go into the pull box, order the stuff, it sends a message.
I just thought of that kills the pull box.
It doesn't kill it like 100% because there are, like for instance, like Diamond doesn't do DC anymore, but DC still is available in the pull box, so they can order DC in the pull box. But in the meantime, when I get that order, what I have to do is I have to go over to Lunar and manually put it in. Vice is just saying, "Oh, accept order," and then everything automatically.
Yeah, I got you. You're gonna have to source the books yourself, basically.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it is what it is. We'll see how it goes, man.
I mean, yeah, that kind of. I mean, they kind of cut their nose off to spite their face because they were so big for so long.
They had to do it their way.
Yeah, so
I mean,
when you do it that way, you gotta live with the consequences. So everybody jump ship except for Boom, and I take it Boom is probably gonna follow shortly soon.
Yeah, so Boom's in a weird ship right now because nobody's really hard after Boom right now, right? I think they put so much money inside the game for like Power Rangers and all the other shit. And there he is, but still your girl.
Huh?
What? Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Oh no! I'm long retired from that life. Like don't be putting that out there right now, man. What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
I am the Ultra Maximus, and I am happy to be joining you guys here. I just got in from meeting with my handler.
Don't open the box.
Well, if the box is ticking, you might want to move away from it.
Yeah,
does it smell like peppermint? This is good.
I don't know.
Is there a key? Do they give you a key that you have to deliver with the box that doesn't fit the lock, but it'll fit the other case that you're gonna pick up?
Someone's gonna start reciting Winter Soldier code book fucking words around me and trying to activate me. Like they did at Sebastian Stan. Do you hear about that? People were going up to Sebastian Stan and doing the Winter Soldier fucking enabling code.
screaming out like what do they call them? The little code words and stuff, just walking by whispering stuff.
Yeah, trying to get the Winter Soldier to activate.
Yeah.
So where are we at? I know I was trying to get in here as fast as possible. I was out on the road, and now we're at Image Comics joins Lunar. Oh well, yeah, that's news. That's news. Besides the rumor of another book that everybody's telling me, "Yo, man, you really need to get one. You really need to get one." I got
talk about that 1/100.
Yep, the 1/100.
It hasn't been confirmed yet. So
it hasn't been confirmed, but I've had more than enough people message me and be like, "Yo, man, you really need to take advantage of this opportunity," which is awesome. I love my friends, I really do. And shout out to all you people, you know who you are, who slid into my DMs and said, "Yo, man, I heard some things you need to
because of some dude, because of some fucking dude on fucking Reddit, who didn't say he heard something. He just he was just trying to put 2 to 2 together, and now everybody's fucking running away with it. So like, nah.
Well, you know,
So you can't talk about it right now, or what's the deal?
I feel it would be irresponsible.
Right.
It would be very amazing Spider-Man 26-ish of us to talk about it right now. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So do you think a lot of these things right now in the comic book world, like, are they doing a lot of things for, like, obvious, like, money grabs?
Oh yeah,
like,
everything's money grab. Every bit of it's money grab. They're
you know
they're trying to vie for as much of your extra dollars as you're willing to throw at them.
But they're doing it kind of at the.
Well, they have to dumb it down for society. So since society took a step back in the last 10 years, we now have to dumb it down to the level of the generation that's behind us.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like they're playing on it with the collectors.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the but what they don't understand is they need to do right by the collectors in order for them to sustain the type of value.
Happy medium. So here we go into the speculation boom of the 1990s once again, and there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of people dropping like flies. A lot of sports card shops going to be closing up here soon because it's just the economic downturn. You know how you could have seen this one coming a year and a half ago. Talking to strippers, apparently strippers know a better prediction about the economy than most people realize, because they see all the CEOs and CFOs and all these guys taking their end of year bonuses and things like that and going to the clubs and also trying to write off their expenses, of course, with their business meetings. And they said it's gotten slow. So they said that they knew that the economic downturn was coming long before everybody else saw it.
It's funny you say that because I pay attention to that too. And I noticed that, like, in the last like, I'll say like 8-9 months, man. The last 8 months, like, they've been back to 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not asking for those things, like those connections you have anymore, because they're just kind of like, you'd be like, where you been? Oh, I'm working over at here now. And you're like, oh. So you're not doing that no more? Yeah, you know, I had to, you know.
And you know how's also a good way to notice when the OnlyFans goes from $34.99 to $4.99,
right?
Oh Jesus,
man!
And then it's all about quantity, not quality, my friend.
There you go.
But you know, I'm happy to report that I have canceled all stepmom applications, and I won't be going down that route. So we're in better favors over here in these days.
There you go. That's all.
Shout out to all my fellow kings, fighting the good fight and trying to keep one woman very happy. It's a thankless job sometimes.
Right.
The other index is the makeup index. That was the thing that people were tracking. So if you have somebody that works in the makeup industry or works in the Sephora, ask them like, hey, has there been people coming in a lot? And they are like, are they still buying the high end stuff, or are they freaking taking the fight for every little penny? Mm-hmm. And also, if you have anybody that works in the nail salon, ask them like, okay, maybe like, have people been coming in, and if they are, have they been tipping like they really should? Like, are they tipping like the 15, 20, or are they tipping like $3 or shit?
I'll tell you, out here in the Bay Area, man, where I'm at, them nail salons be fully packed and line out the door, literally. So. Mm-hmm.
It's a regional.
Maybe that might be, a thing like with the tip. I believe that, but if it's somebody who you've been going to for a while, the tips may not grow, but you're still going to get your tip.
As somebody who works in the service industry, I can tell you right now that people are stingy.
Oh yeah,
people are tight.
So here's where it gets weirdly circular, right? Ultra just actually talked about strippers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, it didn't.
He alluded to the economic impact on the adult entertainment industry. Okay. When adults stop putting much of their income towards that industry, that means that they put more money towards their, people at home, like their wives, like, hey, baby, I just happen to have some extra income now because I'm not going to the fucking strip club. Here, get the fuck out of the house. Here you go, right?
Right.
And then of course those ladies go and they turn around and they
go to the nail salon.
They go to the nail salon, but of course not a lot of them are new, right? A lot because they haven't been here a while because they haven't had as much income in a while, so they go there. They don't know how to freaking tip.
Yeah.
As opposed to the women and men of the adult entertainment industry who are getting all those tips. So they get those tips and then they invest in themselves when they go to the nail salon or the hair salon. Yeah, and they put a lot more money into
it.
Yeah. Is Drunken Chad going to start doing nails to test?
My bad, go ahead.
Hey, what do you think Mel is right now?
In a pipe.
What do you think he's talking about when he says, "Hey, I gotta work this union job"?
Yeah.
The union tell him where to go.
That dude, right?
You want this guarantee check? This is what you got to do today.
In those pictures he be sending, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I don't see it." Yeah.
Well, you know how it is. Oh my goodness, look at all that.
But no, but for real, like I people out like a lot of that stuff that's going on. I'm just like, people are gonna like. I don't think the sex industry is a good measure because sex always gonna sell. Like no matter what, like it's not really gonna dip very like crazy because people always want it. It's like drugs, like that. You never see drugs go in a decline. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
give me a second, I'll be right back.
Like I think like comics, like with spec and stuff like that, it goes as the industry goes. Like the industry is late on everything, but we can't let them dictate it when we know better. You know what I'm saying? Like when you've seen this situation happen before, like they are only basing it off of our sales history. Like if we're buying stuff in a certain manner, like what you're tracking on your report when it shows, they know that same information. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they know weeks and months ahead how they're gonna. They can change a comic book now, the storyline now, 5 issues from now or 6. They can affect it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like just in how they write the story, like and they can base it off of how they want to do it. Like they're fucking with us. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like the things they're doing are like literally we'll let them get away with it. Like you know what I mean? Like and it's only the big two. Like these other companies don't do fuckery in their stories. Like they're just you know what I mean? It's only Marvel and DC. Like you know what I mean? These independents know better. They're like, we can't afford to piss off the customer.
Yeah. Well, it's in fact, I was just talking to a few of the publishers this past week. I think I missed one with Vault, and their argument was they had to sell comics, whereas Marvel and DC they had to sell omnibuses and they had to sell like the collected editions. Yeah. So where they could probably, but they had to think of the long run. They had to think of the long run, like a year from now when that collected edition has come out, and who they had to sell to that 18 to 20-year-old who couldn't afford to buy that freaking that comic issue at $4.99.
Yeah, but
every month or every 2
I
weeks.
Look at it, man, and I'm like, that sounds good, but when I go into like I know everybody always says when you go in the comic book store, man, the kids aren't in there buying comic books, man. The kids are in there buying other stuff. Their dads are in there buying comic books, or their uncles, or their moms, or their aunt. Like it ain't the kid. Like you know what I mean? Like kids are buying other shit.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a huge missing component to this. Because I remember back in once again, this is back during the fucking 80s. We would go by on our way to school. We would walk by either the gas station or 7-Eleven, and you would buy 3 things, right? You would buy maybe like a Big Gulp, or I forget what other fucking drink we used to buy. You would buy like a Now Later, or like some type of Funyuns, or like sour ranch potato chips or whatever.
Yeah.
And you would buy like the WWF magazine.
Yeah.
That was every freaking week you had to fucking buy that shit, right? So there's some kids that are walking by something like that on their way to school, or they're going by freaking Walmart, and they want that stuff, right? Like, yes, in Walmart we had those little collected editions where it was like 3 to 4 making a pack, but it was at my eye level instead of at a kid's eye level, right? So the kid can see that. So what happened in freaking being able to target kids with comics instead of targeting with weird ass freaking rainbow pride freaking swim shit? How about you freaking target them with something they can freaking read and they can
how
feel
else
their
are
spirit.
they supposed to turn them into a medical customer for life?
But that's what I'm saying though. Like those stories. See, the thing is, who they're trying to target, it's not working because they're not buying it. So it's pissing off a bunch of adults. I'm saying you're pissing off adults that are actually reading it. Because we know you're pandering, and we're like, dude, where's this coming from? And there's no kids that are reading these books, because they're going to read into it and be like, okay, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to be all like how they want them to be like, oh, this is interesting. I can't wait for the next issue. Like, it's not going to be that. It's going to be an adult that's going to be pissed the fuck off. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
What is this Spider Boy shit we're dealing with right now?
I just spent $6.99 on this bullshit. And it doesn't even continue from the story last month.
I want to touch back on what you said earlier about like they need to cater more to the collector and stuff like that. And it's exactly what they're doing with the foil, these Marvel foil fucking variants. And then you know what they just did? They just said, "Oh, we're going to reduce the price by $1 or by 99 cents, but we're not going to give the retailers a discount on these." So before it was like, oh yeah, you might be able to get these for their cover price, but no, these are not going to be a cover price book. These will not be a cover price book because their buy-in is going to be at that fucking $8 mark. They're going to be like, oh yeah, we're only going to get a couple of these, and our buy-in's $8. Yeah, we're only going to get a couple of these. Yeah. And these stores aren't going to order a whole bunch of them anymore, and it's going to cause a demand on the book, which is good. I think that's good for collectors. But DC's done it to themselves. They've shot themselves in the foot on any fucking book other than the 50 copy foil being worth a damn.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking chasing anything else. Every now and then you're going to get somebody who's going to like, oh, that's a pretty cool cover. But they've fucked themselves so badly by saying, hey, look, our A cover, we're also going to make a foil version of it. And it's going to be the 50 copy incentive. So people are like, well, I don't need to pay big money for that foil. I can go get the A cover artwork. I'm good. So you have that one that's taken care of. Then you have all these other filler covers. And dude, they're doing so many covers on each book. But then they get to that foil, and you got the collectors and speculators who are all like, oh, I mean, I'm even guilty of it, man. If you point out a first appearance, the first appearance of like a character in any one of these DC books, the foil variant, if it's the top ratio, it's going to be the one people are going to be chasing. They're going to be like, oh, that's the one I want. Are any of the other ones doing anything? And if they aren't, avoid. That's the best speculation advice I can give to if you're trying to buy any of these books as an investment potential. You only want the foil. Go to your local comic shops, find what foils are still digging around in there, and be like, oh, you still have this thing? Hey, man, you want to sell it to me for $10, $20, whatever? Try to work a deal on it. And that's going to be the ones that are sitting on, and especially the ones that Lucas has pointed out that are not returnable.
Yeah, that's the big issue with Penguin Random House right now is that a lot of their stuff, every single one of their Marvel stuff is not returnable. Some of the ID stuff is returnable. I'm not sure about what's going on with Dark Horse, but all the Marvel stuff is not returnable, which makes it such a risky, venture to go into the Marvel stuff, especially when they're asking for like 1 in 100s, 1 in 200s. I got lucky with this whole Amazing Spider-Man number 26 thing that people were so crazy about it because I went for it. I said, fuck it, let's do the fucking 1 in 200. And then they did the freaking leak, and I was like, oh no, I'm so fucked. But luckily, I had already sold a bunch, and people are still buying. I don't know why.
Well, what do you mean you don't know why? They bought Spider Boy. You know damn well it's like you've got the good collectors who are like, I'm not buying this shit. Then you've got the other collectors who are like, should I buy this shit? And then you've got the lemmings who are like, I'll buy anything.
Yeah.
Those guys are literally fucking buying that shit. Man.
Yeah. So Ultra is not Comic Jesus. Comic Jesus is Brian McClay. Looks like are they not doing the show tonight?
If anything, I'm Comic Judas.
Cartier West, you haven't really missed anything. I kind of dipped my toe into some of the FOC, but and we talked about the big thing that we're talking about right now is Image. They joined Lunar, so they're getting off of Diamond. Diamond, they are going to be a wholesaler, but Image is going to be distributed mainly by Lunar. Lunar is the one that does DC Comics. They do Oni, Scout Comics, Vault Comics, Z2, Sumerian, all that other stuff.
And don't worry for all you previews people, just because it's going to be done through Lunar distribution does not mean that previews won't try to set up a purchasing account and distribute some of these items. I've always seen it. Like when I'm doing the FOC, which as you notice, I didn't do one tonight yet because I've been a little busy. It's my kid's first day off of school. Everybody graduated kindergarten yesterday. So I'm looking over the FOC list and I see obviously sometimes there's repeats from stuff that's on Lunar over on the preview side. And sometimes, of course, Penguin Random House has an exclusive here and there. So it's like trying to keep track of all this mess and put it all together in one area. Eventually, Lunar will be as big as previews and will be as big as Penguin Random House. I don't know about that. Penguin Random House is pretty fucking big as far as like other than comic book stuff.
Yeah.
But Lunar distribution does not have a clear, like scot-free or tainted-free identity either. So let's not say that they're any better than previews. they're a little bit bigger than PRH though.
Well, I'll give props to Lunar on this. Once again, like you said, they're not perfect, but the percentages of stuff that I've had delivered to me since 2020, since COVID began, far is crushing Diamond, is crushing Penguin Random House right now. Their policy as far as returnables has been a lot clearer than Penguin Random House and freaking Diamond. Like, I know what's returnable. I know when I had to return it. I don't have to fucking guess, right? I know what I had to do to return this stuff, right? So I'll give props to Lunar on that one. They give a lot more previews out, right? So I know what's actually in the freaking comic than before I had to spend money on it. Props to them on that. Their game on putting out trailers for the comics and putting out posters for the comics has been a lot more clearer, right?
So Dwayne Scott's asking, or Late Night was asking, what was the industry like before previews or FOC? Well, there's always been a funnel or a cutoff. Mm-hmm. There's always been an Advanced Comics, American Entertainment, a previews, Capital or distribution or whatever distribution network would always put out like a checklist, an order form, or just something and say, hey, you have to have your orders in for your books by this date. And it's like, people forget when the newsstands were out there, it's a little bit different than a direct market store. And then in the late 70s, when the direct market came, that's what changed the whole game. That's where everybody was like, okay, now we need to get our orders. How many copies of this X-Men are we ordering? How many copies of this Hulk 181? Oh, we're going to do a Hulk 181. We're going to do 350,000 copies. Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to the people that are hanging out in the chat at Comic Crusaders. I've never seen that many people all at one time on purpose without the threat of them winning something. So I'm going to give a shout out to AMP, El Picasso, Undercover Kids once again, man. Freaking thank y'all for hanging out. Ghostus, Lotus, who's hanging out with us on the Mel V network. And then Cardi West is saying, I put on the back of my cars to use. I notice a lot of art is looking very close to AI. As time passes, these artists can't fool me. I can tell if it's AI. I mean, that was the whole fight when Matina started doing that, right? People were absolutely pissed, right? Like, okay, you're literally showing me the same model over and over again. You're just changing the freaking background and you're changing freaking colors. And the Ugly started doing now Art Germ's freaking doing it, which is why when Momoko started coming out with her weird tattoo art, people were like absolutely freaking loving it because we were trying to send a message like, hey, we don't need you to do 13 covers of the same thing and then give us a second print and it's just a different freaking colored background. Do something freaking different. Right?
Well, Momoko didn't learn from that one, I'll tell you. But it's just like find your niche. But right now, yeah, AI is kind of like it's good and bad. It's the duality. It's the evil and the good. And Eric, shout out to Eric S. Hurd, logo maker extraordinaire, and this question right here hits.
Is asking me if the speaking of AI, Lucas, did you cover the Warhol versus Goldberg decision and effects on the Fair Use Act? Is what I think he's trying to say.
Yeah.
He says I think it's going to be a big deal going forward with AI and sampling. I think we covered it a little bit last week, or am I really drunk? I think we started covering it a little bit. I'm trying to remember because there's the stuff that came out right that everybody, and then there's like the actual pages of what everybody was actually thinking, and I forget what the.
I'm not familiar. I don't know I didn't know what the case
yeah,
was.
Yeah. Well, so the Warhol versus Goldberg. What happened was there was a photographer who was contracted to use their photos for magazine. I forget whether it was Time magazine or whatever, right? So he sold it, boom, and then Warhol, who was contracted to do his other thing, took some of the photographs to kind of not just copy it, but he kind of used it as kind of like a model for his paintings. And then he did his whole thing, right? And then he sold a photocopy of his paintings to once again to freaking Time, right? So years later, people were like, "Hey, this is freaking similar." Well, then the Warhol Foundation, freaking sued Goldberg for using. It didn't really make freaking sense because you used the photo as a model. So Goldberg was all right, bam it, right? Right.
Yeah, but because we live in a world of craziness right now, instead of just calling it Warhol style in the settlement, you know what I mean? That's all that should have been done. Be like,
but what they were saying, I think
Andy Warhol did and got the Warhol famous painting, but
But they were always paintings of someone else's photos or pictures, like you know what I mean. It's like
So that was
a copy of something. It was like Photoshop back then. You know what I mean? Like.
Right. So according to Ellen Kager, the Supreme Court Justice, I think that's her name. There was the two female. They went back and forth. Their stuff was like airtight when they were arguing back and forth. They kind of fleshed out the way forward on this. And they very much pointed out that what was actually what kind of sealed the deal for them was the Andy Warhol side said, well, our thing is transformative, right? We were transforming into something else. We were transforming it into something that was away from the original use that the photo was, right?
I don't care.
And Goldberg, he was able to win. He was like, "What? Hold up! The reason why you're suing me is because a magazine came to you to buy your shit, which was originally what my photo was for. My photo was for a magazine. You're suing me because you want to use it for a magazine. So it's the same freaking use. So it's not transformative. It's for the same exact freaking use, and that's how they freaking.
It's his photo still. He still owns the photo, right?
Yeah, he
still. He sent them a picture of a picture, basically, but it was his photo, and then he used that to make his picture, so then they sued him, and then now he's like, "No, you can't sue me because it was my shit to begin with, but it wasn't even the real photo; it was a picture of it."
Right. So exactly. So Eric's when you're speaking of AI, right? So, that's going to be the way forward when you really think about it. Is okay. Somebody drew something for a comic book. When you're using AI,
right.
when are they using that AI for the same purpose that original art
Click on Eric's his next comment.
Okay. Warhol's paintings are screens burnt from photo negatives to create his style. He didn't paint them eye exactly.
There you go.
There he is, right there. Yeah. Nothing to
it. I'm talking first AI sports cards. Well, no, well, what's the name of that? It's Sports Breaks or some weird shit like that, where they took clips of actual NBA freaking video footage, which would have made sense. It would have been like, okay, I would have been all over that if that means that people on ESPN couldn't use it unless they freaking called me up for access to that fucking footage.
Yeah, that's similar to what I think that was what it was similar to. Is like they have to give credit. They have to, like, you know what I mean? Like if they use your video or picture, like you have to get credit for that. And I believe they owe compensation too if they use it. Like they have to pay for it.
Yep. Edwin Aguilar is talking about the Al Frank Sinatra voice singing "Get Low" from Lil Jon. Scammers.
The AI Frank Sinatra. No, I have not, but I'm sure that's pretty hilarious.
Curry West is making selling prints that show comes with 6 months in. All right, so let's get on with some of the rest of the show. Hey, so once again, we are not financial advisors. But I do like to use what's going on in the financial world to inform my decisions when I'm buying comic books. That's why I always bring this up, right? So this graph right here, this is from last week. There was a whole bunch of red. Of course, I've been paying a lot of attention to Disney, which was at $91.99. Netflix, which had an interesting week. Warner Brothers, Discovery, Paramount, and IDW, which is not on here, but they're actually getting pink slipped pretty soon. Remember how they say sell in May and go away? Well, bitch, yeah, you better sell. You better have sold already and go away, because they got even bloodier this motherfucking week. Disney, this is the price I was looking for. I keep telling people, I was like, man, because this was at 105, not 110, not less than a month ago, and now we're at 88. This is the price I was looking for, and even now I'm like,
it could go lower, huh?
Yeah, I'm like,
82.
I'm sitting here with cash in here, I'm like, god damn it, no.
If it goes down to 79, I might buy it.
Yes, 79 would be a gold mine, but even then, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh man!
But it'll go up during Mandalorian season. It's going to jump back up, and then you just get it off.
Yeah, I don't know. But so here's the deal. It's summertime. A lot of people going to want to be going on vacation.
Yeah.
So they're going to be selling a lot of their freaking stocks, just to have that little extra cash on hand. The big thing to keep in mind is this coming week. It's been a big showdown anyway. The government showdown, while they're trying to freaking haggle out what's going on with the debt, what's going on with the whole budget going forward. There most likely, very likely, will be a shutdown June 1st. If that happens, then look for the stocks to go down even lower. Okay. That's the only thing that's holding me down right now, holding me back right now, is trying to guess what's going to happen with that. I've never been clicking on C-SPAN so much as this week, trying to figure out what the heck is going on as I try to figure out where these guys are going. In the meantime, I've actually seen that top bullet I got there. I've actually seen it in the last couple of weeks, because I've told people before about these sites like PayPal, Shopify, Alonzi, and is it called Pay As You Go? Something weird like that.
The credit one?
Yeah, it's like Alt Pay, Pay As You Go, something like that. There's all those little ones where you don't have to pay up front.
Yeah, you can pay have.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Whereas they were shutting down access to credit for the last 4 to 5 months, all of a sudden they're opening it back up to freaking customers, and they're letting people buy stuff. So as far as comic book world it goes, a lot of guys and a lot of retailers were actually depending on that stuff to actually restock their stuff. And then when it shut down, they couldn't freaking pay for the stuff. But now that they're opening the credit back up, I'm seeing a lot of more retailers buying a lot of shit that they probably shouldn't be buying right now. But hey, y'all do what y'all got to do. Um, GameStop, which was a meme stop during freaking heavy during COVID. If the stocks fell again Friday, I can't believe GameStop is freaking dead right now, but it keeps popping up every once in a while.
Dude, have you been in a GameStop lately?
Nobody tried to short it this time. That's the only reason why it's dying.
Well, but do you understand how crazy it is that it's dying? Think about it. One of the biggest games in the last 2 to 3 years just came out a couple weeks ago. That's that new Zelda Limited Edition, and nobody has.
Target did better than they did. And Target's under a boycott right now. Look,
nobody has any confidence in GameStop to have sold enough units to keep their head over the water right now.
No,
that's the thing though. Like, have you been inside of one lately? Like, there's a bunch over here where I live, and like they're like empty inside. Like, you go inside and there's like
nobody will let us give them a nickel for their old game anymore, man. We have no inventory.
I mean, and that's what it is. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no stuff on the wall. The games are non-existent. They don't have physical copies that much. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no need for them to be, brick and mortar stores. At least not in the amount that they have, especially if they're not going to take on, used games. That's what people have to do.
Exactly, Remo, and they don't even have to be.
They're offering people fucking pennies for their games.
Yeah,
people have had enough of that. There's a competitor that flat out advertises, we will give you 10% more than our competitors for your used games.
Because it's not bad for that to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could give still that much more and still profit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, the local chain does better than the GameStop does here, because the local chain's like, we'll give you more than they will. Like, we'll at least give you something. And you walk in their store and they got a ton of retro stuff everywhere. So find a little hole in the wall. It's the same with like the comic book stores, man. You got some comic shops that don't even order new books. Yeah, those are good stores. Those are stores that are like, oh, we don't play the new book game, but I tell you what, we got gold over here. And one of those pop-up shops actually just happened near me. I haven't been into it yet, but it's definitely like more of like a flea market type of comic book shop than like your new previews, ordering and that kind of thing. So that's how I feel like is going on with these stores too, man. Like, you got to find the hole in the wall. You got to find the secret spots that are just no longer out there anymore, because everybody knows, like, there's 9 comic shops and 9 within 100 miles of here. So we're going to hit up this one first, and we're going to work our way all the way around. We're going to get to this one, and we're going to clean them out in a day.
Yeah. Okay, see, hold on, let me get straight. So it's Adahama, welcome. Big Room was right. The Targets are getting more like Walmart's by the day. Absolutely. Remember when people used to have to put on their actual clothes to go to freaking Target instead of walking around in their goddamn pajamas? Remember that? Eric's heard saying Target is now down 12% and InBev is down 30% over the last 30 days.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Cardi West is saying, is the death of GameStop a source of fuel for speculating in the metaverse? So here's an interesting thing that I just found out before we actually got on here, is that Apple is supposed to announce very soon their new goggles, their new like VR freaking goggles, which are supposed to be like freaking amazing apparently, but they say that every single freaking time and they just haven't gotten it right. But that's supposed to be there's supposed to be a pause while everybody's like waiting to see like wait freaking good. Go ahead.
By my calculations, if it's an Apple product and it's using any kind of visual screening of any kind, it means that they're using right now 4-year-old Samsung tech. Let's be honest with ourselves, all right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw any punches.
See, yeah, so I'm trying to remember, when did I have mine? So I remember back about I forget when it was, but I remember Taco Bell once had a weird giveaway, right? So I went into Taco Bell and I was like, oh shit, you buy this, whatever, and I went home and sure enough, shit, fucking won, right? One fucking Samsung fucking thing. They fucking sent me the fucking Samsung goggles, right? But you just had to fucking click on that you actually had a fucking phone. So I was like, oh shit, now I gotta buy an actual fucking phone because before then, 2013, I was still fucking around with the fucking flip phones. That's how fucking dinosaur I was.
Damn.
2 years later, I was went back to same fucking Taco Bell. Now they was fucking around with they had a PlayStation VR goggles fucking giveaway. Fucking won that shit fucking again, right? Here's the thing: I didn't have a PlayStation, so once again, I had to fucking buy my kid a fucking PlayStation. So I played that PlayStation Batman Arkham game and everything, right? So whatever they're fucking doing, Apple needs to make sure that whatever they fucking got going on, they need to make sure that the games and the applications that are actually being used are straight first. And yes, Samsung's had it first, PlayStation's had it first. Problem is Metaverse has got all that shit first, but know what? Nobody gives a damn right now because it's just fucking painful. Right? I can't sit in a fucking cafe like a fucking weirdo with the fucking goggles on, right? But what's the purpose of buying any type of Apple product? So you can fucking see me being a rich bitch, fucking using my fucking Apple product, so I can sit home.
But that VR shit is more of some home shit. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
It's gonna get to the point where there's gonna be some Android dude sitting in his garage. He's gonna see the trash that Apple has. He's gonna take it apart. He's going to look at the components. He's going to be like, I can build something better than this for a quarter of the price. And then he's going to do it. And then they're going to be commonplace where everybody's going to have a VR. Everybody's going to have their own VR thing. And it's like you walk into all these major stores now, Walmart, Target, whatever you got, Fred Meyer in your area.
Yeah.
They have the metaverse stuff for sale there. It's $350. Do you want to buy a $350 pair of Meta goggles? I sure as shit don't. I'd rather put that money towards the PS5.
Yeah.
So
you get some goggles on that shit.
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. Like Apple's trying to throw their hat into the ring against Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, who already have established gaming communities who are willing probably to throw on a VR. But
or at least try it out, give it a shot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm not going to go into a department store and be like, oh yeah, I'm here for a metaverse goggles. Let me do
that. Shout out to Mirrors Comics and Collectibles. Nice to see you again, brother. Let's see. Adam Haha says Apple's too easy. It's easy to understand and it integrates well into business models. It's popular. I don't agree with any of that other than it's popular and it does make people smile that, hey, my job gave me an iPhone. My job gave me an iPad. So,
yeah. And I used to work in the cell phone industry and I would tell you as a security preference, I would never, ever allow anybody on my team, if we're dealing with any kind of sensitive data, to ever use an iProduct or an Apple product.
My job will let you buy any phone and everybody has an Android for work. And the personal phone will be an iPhone, but every other phone is an Android.
Look, Apple's done something really, really good. They got the CIA to convince everybody that if you don't have an Apple and you have a green text message, that they should ostracize you and not talk to you. So when my green text message bubble comes up, that's just a sign that you're not to DM me. It's crazy because it's like the whole thing is like, everybody wants the iPhone. I gotta have the iPhone, like the newest iPhone. And again, I'm on a Samsung S22 Ultra. That's why, it's in my name. But I'm not going after the 23 because I saw the little bit of changes they made between the two models, but I don't need to go get a 23 in order for it to be relevant. And also, Android and iPhone are both built on Linux language. If you really want to get into it, you can break iPhone language down far enough and build it the same way that you build an Android. So there you
go. Paramount recently received an injection of $125 million via their parent financial company, Natural Ventures. Didn't necessarily give us a new direction of where they want to go, but I do know Paramount, you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Beavis and Butthead, fucking Star Trek, all a bunch of good stuff. Is 125 million enough to keep them freaking, or even add new stuff? Absolutely not. It's maybe enough to keep the lights on for a little bit more, but I don't know. I didn't see any priorities when it comes to that stuff.
You know, this pisses me off because I can't get the Paramount Plus app to work on my damn television half the damn time. That shit is so slow. God, will they put money into the resources where they need it to be, please?
I thought that was just me. That's why.
No, it's not just you. The
that's why I stopped even trying to log in.
Absolute trash app of all of the streaming apps.
It's just terrible.
They fucking hired interns to program that shit, man. I swear to God.
See, Walt Disney stock rules Friday, but it's still underperforming market. Nvidia market capitalization gained on Thursday, bigger than Disney, Netflix, Boeing, or Nike. I think it creeped towards like 698 billion or something like that. And the common excuse is, oh, everybody wants to do AI now. Now, no. Actually, McClay and I, we've been talking about this since the fucking beginning of the pandemic. People wanted a whole bunch of wanted to upgrade their fucking computers. They needed the freaking chips. They needed the semiconductor chips. Nvidia did the superconductor chips. They just got a huge infusion from the U.S. government because we need to stop paying freaking people like Apple Box and Samsung to build freaking chips. So we're trying to bring all that stuff over to here, build all those factories. Yeah, Arizona, Texas, and the like.
Be here. They got all those headquarters. Nvidia's headquarters is less than like a mile from my house.
Yeah.
And like they've been there forever. My wife's friend's been there for shit.
Let's just say that it's everything, Lucas. If America got back to being the leader of every industry and saying, oh, we have that industry in America and we have a manufacturer or two or three manufacturers in that industry in America who are the leaders in the world manufacturing this product or this line of products, you know, we wouldn't be where we are right now because we would have that industry with all those jobs and all those things, you know, happening here. But instead, they got fully automated Uber drivers in Phoenix with no human.
If they were really genuine about wanting to do the whole environmental thing,
they're not.
They would be putting a lot more money into the chips because in order to do what they wanted to do, in order to regulate the cars and the machinery, to regulate and make sure it doesn't put out all that bullshit that you want in the air, you're going to have to put more money in the freaking chips. It's just that freaking simple.
Didn't the president just pledge some hundreds of billions of dollars towards
well, what budget? We ain't got past the budget.
Oh, I'm just saying that's on the.
I mean, we left $9 trillion worth of rare earth over in Afghanistan and just left it and abandoned it to the Afghans and the Chinese and the Russians. So, you know, us having the raw earth materials to build semiconductors until oblivion was just handed over to some other company. But, you know, it's fun because, you know, I hear some people got some good stock investments in some of those companies. So they'll be paying dividends on the back end.
When you hear that shit, it just makes your stomach turn.
You know, well, let's not talk about how the CIA is arming one side and then the government's arming the other side, and they're both fighting a war in another country, and we're the taxpayers are paying for it. So yeah, you know, this is just a sign of being American.
All right, it's time to start talking about a little bit of movie stuff and where we're going with that stuff. So while I pour me another shot in order to fucking kill my liver, let's freaking take a 40-second break.
And
let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby. to get ourselves a treat.
I'm sorry, I'll try. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. So the first thing I got, get it in, breathe it in, brother, breathe it in. First one I got teed up right now is Marvel. Look, in fact, we've been talking about this for a little bit. The whole writer strike is happening right now, and that strike has been affecting a bunch of stuff. I've already reported that Blade was not necessarily canceled, but it was put on hold, and now here we are at Thunderbolts, as well as the Wonder Woman projects have been put on hold because of this freaking strike.
Because they're having to rewrite so much as they go, and it's the speed process of the script. It's like, yeah, we've got a plot, we kind of know what we're doing, but they're doing rewrites on there, and all that stuff has come to a complete fucking stop. So like, okay, we can't make any alterations to anything. Button it up.
Yeah.
And the one good thing
Yep.
is that Ryan Reynolds somehow got Deadpool 3 to go into production and start filming, even during this strike. But he's part of the writer's strike, though, because he's ad-libbing on set. So he counts as a writer. Fucking this is worse than government politics. It really is. But I mean, would you guys rather
fascinating but weird as well, man?
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely weird, especially when you consider. So I mean, the first time like I got like any inkling of how weird and just messed up it was the whole Scarlett Johansson thing, right? Because she didn't just want the money for her being an actress. She wanted her money as being a producer on the freaking thing, which means that in perpetuity she would be getting money, not just her. And that shit was freaking weird. People were like, "Oh man, Marvel didn't want to pay her." No, she wanted her producer's freaking credit, and it was the agents, her agents that were pushing that shit because they get a huge percentage out of that fucking thing.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's good news. The good news is they can still fix the horrible scripts that they were delivered first to start these movies with once the strike's over. But what's it going to take to end the strike?
See, whenever the writer's strike, I always stay out of it.
Whenever there's a writer's strike, what happens is they make bad movies like Transformers.
But that's what I mean, because you understand both sides of it, and then they prove that they were right all the time, because then you see the movies and they're terrible. Because they're half done and they're having to kind of like splice the good when stuff would have been smoothed out. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's Adams talking about it in the chat. He's like, actors do a few ad libs, and the next thing you know, they're writers. But he said actors ain't fixing these scripts, which is true. On most of those other movies, that would work. But Ryan Reynolds apparently ad libs so many fucking lines in Deadpool that he has to be credited as a writer.
See, but that's what I mean. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at that at all. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why we want him as that character. But, and I hate to say it, but, like when you're talking about TV shows like, Echo or Miss Marvel, like, not so much. You know what I mean? Like, not so much.
It makes sense to me. Come on.
It had a lot of elements that I was. It didn't have all the elements that I was hoping that it would have. Right?
Yeah.
I was, look, we're explaining. We're exploring a whole new microverse, and the stuff that they needed to have, it didn't have any of that. There should have been, or maybe I missed it. I was looking for more of an allusion to the Micronauts. I was looking for more of an allusion to the Shi'ar.
Here's my thing with with the whole Ant-Man saga, because I was a huge fan. I love Ant-Man, but what I feel like it should have been for the 3 movies was not Scott Lang. It should have been Hank Pym. You know what I mean? Like, it should have been Hank Pym and Wasp, the original
Avengers.
And we could have.
There's an idea.
We would have loved it more, because it was harder to digest, even though we like Scott Lang. he's still not the Ant-Man that we followed as kids in Avengers.
You are correct. It should have been a Hank Pym working with Tony Stark and Bruce Banner and creating Ultron. And that would have been comic book accurate. You would have then had Pymtron eventually come into play. You would have had Annihilation eventually come into play.
Everything.
You would have
set it down a whole other path. You know what I mean? A whole other path.
True. It would have been a whole different direction, but it would also been a little bit more comic book accurate. Age of Ultron then could have been that huge time shaking.
It would have been Endgame. It would have been Endgame.
Exactly. Fix the time stream by killing Ultron and then at the end they could have brought in Angela. But no, what do we know? We're just a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, I think it should have been that because he even if they would have had someone else, they could have done it. They could have pulled it off. Just like I don't think like if they want to make Harrison Ford Hulk, they can do it. It can be done. You know what I mean? Like I think that that story depends. These writers have got to be off strike because it needs the story.
Man, they went so fast track to try to get Marvel caught up to where they were now in the paper books.
Yeah,
they're now going. Maybe we should have fucking slow it down a little bit and think some other things. But of course, all trusting Kevin Feige, right? No, he can do no wrong, except for She-Hulk.
They have to fix this phase before they can even go into the cosmic phase, in my opinion. Because it's going to circle back into
Star-Lord's on Earth. He's going to be part of the Avengers movie. That's how it's going to be. Yeah. Star-Lord's going to be an Avenger.
Right. So I will say that if you rewatch Marvel when we first started Phase 1, that was a shit show as well. Right. But,
no, it was.
But they eventually got it fixed, and they actually made us care about the freaking characters and cared about what was going on. And we're like, oh, well, no, Phase 4 is happening, and they already have a fucking direction. Well, they kind of don't, right? And you know what? That's okay, right? Because we got all new type of characters. They're kind of defining what their actual roles are, and they're slowly trying to get us to care about it. But the problem is, we still got those hanger-ons. People that we want absolutely fucking out, like Brie Larson. Would you push this fucking movie through, please? So we can get her on the fuck her on out. Get her the fuck on out. Black Panther, what was it, 2 or 3 or whatever the fuck it was? They should have fucking just go ahead and fucking got old girl Shuri out because the actress just fucked it all up, right? And then it still pissed me off that he killed Angela Bassett because she fucking tore everybody ass out. She tore everybody up, and then you fucking killed her. That was fucked up.
Right? But that to me. I think that's them trying to like just kind of end that whole. It's gonna be just Shuri, and then once they get rid of her, then they can move on from the whole Chadwick.
We need to move on for sure. Go ahead, freaking.
That's what I'm saying, though. They need to move to the next.
Come on, man. Tosin, come on, man.
He's gonna be a young Avenger. Watch. They're gonna make him a young Avenger. T'Challa gonna be a young Avenger. And they're going to have kids Black Panther show. They're going to do all the kids marketing and kids targeting audience and shit.
I'm already sick of this.
He has to be older though. It has to be Tosin. It has to be older.
I'm already sick of this little Riri teen girl. And you know what? And I will say this that it is not her fault that I'm sick of her already. It is not her fault. I'm pretty sure she's a pretty great actress. It's just that I don't know.
She's gonna have to knock it out of the park for you to change your mind. Right?
Liger Style said, was connecting the whole MCU a mistake in general? No, because if the CW can do an Arrowverse and get them to communicate and like kind of be cool in each other's programs, Marvel should do that better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of agree though that could have been, it could have done like little 3 shots, you know what I mean? Like do the 3 movies like they did with Winter Soldier and Captain America, that one, like the Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, like if 3 would have been better, they could have just done 3 little shots of each character. They didn't have to do the Avengers. Like, they didn't have to.
Well, yeah, they did because Fox had the rights to X-Men.
So that's what I mean. It was all of that. But if you just did the 3 movies and moved on to different characters and then maybe told like an Avengers, 3 movies or whatever, and that could have ended with Ultron or whatever, that would have been a lot different. You know what I mean? Because you focus on the characters, you get people to like the characters, than having to choose with a team. That way you figure out all of the characters I'm following. So if they're together, then that makes the Avenger movies more epic. You know what I mean? Instead of kind of throwing everything out of order and then having to tie it back together, it's out of sequence. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's why there's two different ways to watch the MCU. You can either watch it in release order, which is the preferred way,
right.
or you can watch it in chronological order.
Yeah.
Which puts like Captain America at the beginning. You watch that first.
Yeah. It's a long, and to watch them in that way, it might give you a different perspective, but I ain't got time for that.
Where does the Star Wars saga fall into that?
I mean, man.
What about Alien Predators? Because that fall in there.
I love that. I can watch Predator movies like over and over again. Now, Alien versus Predator, that's another story. I think I've only seen it.
Hey.
Yeah, but I mean, all the other ones I can watch over and over again. So.
Yeah. I forget who it was that said, hey, it was asking, is The Rock treating his acting gigs like a Facebook marketplace? So trying to get the best bang for his buck.
I haven't seen Fast X yet, but I heard things.
Yeah. So this has been Diesel, but he's talking about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So Dwayne Johnson, I don't know who his agent is, but it looks like they've got a lot of connections to Southeast Asia and what the like. So there was a lot of freaking money being pushed off to Southeast Asia. And there was a lot of freaking movies, really freaking great stuff. You'll notice that manga, anime freaking started picking up for a lot of those freaking years. And just The Rock just happened to be in that freaking I think maybe DGS. I think maybe that's who it was. So I don't know what project he's working on right now or what's coming out pretty soon, but that's probably what happened is that a lot of money was coming out of freaking China. China was fucking putting a lot of money in the entertainment industry, which is weird because usually actors that are born in China and nationalized as China, they have to get a degree, they have to get certified.
Wait, what are we talking about? What am I missing there? What happened now?
Okay, so don't even look at the photo that you're looking at. The Rock.
Okay, you're talking. Okay, I'm trying to. I'm like, what is
right. Yeah. So trust me, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So there's The Rock.
I'm like The Rock. This ain't The Rock.
Yeah, there's The Rock. There's Dwayne Johnson, who had been doing a lot of been doing a lot of movies, and a lot of those movies were actually centered in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, right?
Okay.
And that's because they were funded, they were fully approved. China was fucking trying to do a lot of like, hey, we're a free liberal freaking city, excuse me. Welcome, our brothers from China. I know you guys love our show. I can see the freaking analytics. But yeah, so China was trying to do more investment into the United States entertainment industry, and that's why Dwayne Johnson, who is one of the most known actors, was getting a lot of work. Here we go with Fast and Furious X, which is actually doing really well at $7 billion globally. Most of those numbers are coming from China, India, Mexico, Brazil, and
that's the franchise. That's not just this movie.
Yeah, it's all of them.
That's all of them. Yes. All of them are now at $7 billion, which is pretty good considering the first two only did a couple $100 million apiece. Were cult classics for us, like
years.
For us car people in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, it puts it in the top 5.
You guys have no idea how frustrating it is to see your car focused movie get shifted into secret agent fucking driving a Fiero in space. Like, how the fuck did we get here, man?
Is there some space pussy that they're going up to freaking see? What's going on? Because that's what it used to be. It used to be freaking, freaking young women at the freaking track used to freaking drive around, press those fucking girls, and that was it, right? Now we got spy angles, James Bond, all that. I don't give a fuck about that, man. Oh, we're driving around trying to save the Vatican. Nah, man, I'm not about that life.
Oh, come on, man. Don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the previews that says he's going to blow up the Vatican. Are we going to blow up the Vatican? So bad. But no, somebody else pointed out the fact that all of the DC actors are back in the Fast universe. It's because fucking Black Adam sucked. One of them got fired, and who's the other one? There's somebody else, right?
Wait, who else is it? It was The Rock, right? Well, they fired him from the franchise.
Well, the Black Adam is basically done now that James Gunn's taken over as the head, and he's like,
No, I'm talking about Fast and the Furious. So he was.
No. So the spoilerific thing that even though I haven't seen the movie, you're spoiled that he shows up. So, but we don't know if he was ever on set with Vin Diesel at the same time.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought Vin Diesel owns this shit, so why would he even be able to be a part?
Well, remember he gave Hobbs and Shaw their own movie.
Yeah, but he did that. That was out of he paid for that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's pretty.
Vin Diesel paid for that, right?
And who knows if their feud is even real or if it's just Vin Diesel and The Rock, creating drama to create things, for the movie and to create drama for keep the franchise, in the news somehow. All press is good press. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gal Gadot, and The Rock those are the two, right? Is there nobody else from the that universe? Anyway.
Adam Haha says, "Hey yo, don't respect Michelle Rodriguez, my girl. Fine, all the dudes love her. Well, guess what? She don't love all the dudes.
Well, we know that.
She don't love
the dudes. She don't love you, man.
That was short lived for her.
It does not matter, Chad. That's correct. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Stole the show. These stocks are crazy. She doesn't love all the dudes, though, right? Yep.
Do you guys remember when The Rock did a song called "It Doesn't Matter"?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Laker Style says in 10 years the FFCU will lead above the MCU and DCU films. Well, here's where the weird trends that we're looking at right now. Number one, manga anime is still freaking high and above and freaking gaining. And then now, some of the game stuff like Mario Brothers, Pokemon is freaking kind of freaking leading up and freaking taking the lead right now. I'm Groot. I live myself a quarter mile at a time. Exactly. Yeah, she's still a fan till no end. Hey, paycheck's a paycheck, right? Yeah. Aaron E is in the freaking chat instead of being at his appointed place of duty. Gal Gadot was was in FF universe. Was she?
Yeah, she was.
That's going to be a whole new team, right?
All of a sudden, there's 3 new movies, and one of them is going to be an all-girl.
Well, we'll see what happens with this Barbie movie because I heard Robbie, what's her name, Margot Robbie was supposed to be the new Susan Storm, apparently.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I mean, she was Harley Quinn in the DCU before James Gunn allowed Lady Gaga to make Joker too.
Chad K says she's bi, not sure why it matters though. Okay.
And that's why I said The Rock. It doesn't matter.
How many roles could you see Ellen playing or Rosie O'Donnell playing? Just saying.
Ellen used to play straight people when she had long hair,
and it was never believable.
It was a little awkward. She's a good actress, though.
Full open mouth kisses. Like, nah.
Hey, I mean, she doesn't. What's her name?
She's no Helen
Rodriguez plays his baby mama, right?
No, she's not a baby mama. She's just a stepmama. Remember, his baby mama was the Brazilian chick who got killed.
That's right.
In 8, I believe it was.
Was it 8?
Yeah, Fast 8.
Laker Style is asking for thoughts on the Barbie film. Well, I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the trailers. Adam Haas says he watches anime, reads manga. The comic industry is F. There are a lot of people doing it way better, and they're already animating it. So here's where it's getting weird, and I think DC kind of understood what was going on. The way manga anime works is first they put it out on a free type of platform like Webtoons, Then once it gets enough followers and likes, then it makes it to an actual hardcover or published work. And then that's when it actually makes it to a cartoon anime, and then they'll start playing around with maybe, hey, let's do a live action, right? So there's all those steps instead of just saying, hey, let's just throw all this shit on the freaking wall and see if it freaking works and everybody freaking loses money. No, they put it out for free, and then because they know that, hey, if I love it, I still want to have a copy of the published work because it might be something someday.
Did you guys see that one meme I shared with y'all where the kid told his daddy he didn't like Dragon Ball Z, and the dad just put on his jacket and said, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some milk.
No, I didn't see that.
Left him.
Well,
You know what
so,
happened?
yeah. So Adam House says that the infrastructure is there. The Marvel DC universe is going to get rolled by Shonen Jump. Don't forget that Disney Plus, they just bought a whole bunch of animes that they will be showing on Disney Plus soon.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah,
No,
they had
yeah.
that.
are they going to
Batman
promote
In
them?
fact, it's like, in fact, I think it's like half the Crunchyroll library, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
guys
going
remember-
to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember when people complained
Really?
about the culturally
No.
appropriated Joker?
No, I know.
I do.
Is that the one? Yeah,
It was
cornrows?
it was like it was like a Kabuki Joker by Campbell, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!"
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you know what, you're gonna get all bent out of shape about that, but nobody batted an eye about any of the Samurai Venom, the young, like there's like a new Venom. He's like 13. He's like an Asian kid. Like what's going on? What is all this craziness?
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway, I am Groot, and I love you guys.
They were breast the first 10 minutes. What's going on here?
What?
People are all over this Barbie shit. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I'm not involved. I don't know what that's about.
So remember that TV series with Kamala Khan that hardly anybody watched, and the people that did watch it didn't really care for.
No. The people that did watch it said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a better budget.
Damn.
Yeah.
I said it, okay? I said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a better budget, and you can tell. But
Well, they were building up for that big train scene at the end, you know.
yeah,
But you know what though? I think this would have been better, kind of like I think even like now that I say it, like Moon Knight, if they were full length like feature like movies on Disney Plus. You know what I mean? Like put all the episodes, don't show it as a series broken down,
So-
just show it a full show.
here's where I'm gonna vary from you on that one. You guys know what the ultimate key to success was? Netflix's schedule for Marvel shows. Daredevil season 1, 13 episodes. You know why? You know why 13's perfect? You get one issue a month, 12 months out of the year, and one annual. That's 13. Every one of these damn comic book shows should have a annual crossover, episode 13, where they cross over with other people, and 12 issues to themselves, where they dedicate that to their stories and have it really be like that comic book effect. But man, look, the Netflix Daredevil and Punisher seasons, when they would drop all of them day one, you can watch them all through. I think it satisfied a lot of people. And you know that they're going to try that upcoming here with Echo. They're dropping all of them at once. So are we going to see if it's because it's so horrible that they have to drop them all at once, or are they doing it just because there's another Marvel show that debuts like right before that too? So what up?
Oh, just not much. I was listening in the car on the way here, and I was like, oh man, I'm missing all the good conversations about like Warhol, into technology. I was like, oh, I like subject matter stuff, like
What are your thoughts on the Warhol being an art major?
Being an art major, so okay, little art history background, right? So what Warhol set up, right, was called the factory, where he made a design or whatever, and then he got other people to duplicate his work, and then it's titled under his name, right? So that's been done in art for a long time, since the Renaissance period, where you have a bunch of artists gathered together in the studio, and then it's all put under one publishing name. So it's been done forever. So I didn't catch exactly what the entire controversy was. Was it something that, like, because Warhol, what he used to do was take pictures wherever he went and use those photographs as references, right? So it was something
so he
about
probably
like
took a picture of somebody else's picture or painting, and then
no. So he actually took pictures of people at like different parties and stuff like that,
right.
because like, you know, it was the 70s, everyone was, you know, doing drugs, whatever, and like having tons of fun, and so that's what why a lot of people either loved Warhol or hated him. So it just depends on like what side of the fence you were on.
Because you might show up and there's a picture getting millions of dollars, and it's a picture of you.
Right, but most of those people are already famous anyways, right?
But I mean, even then, like, you know, you'd be like, hold on, like, that's my likeness. Like, I should be getting paid off of that. Not you.
And the thing is, in this case, it was he used another photographer's photo. He took a photo of Prince before he was famous. And the photographer had sold it to Time, which established like, hey, he owns it and all the other stuff, which is one thing. But then Warhol tried to sue that photographer later on, for that shit.
But that kind of reminds me of more of like something recent, like with the Obama Shepard Fairey. That Shepard Fairey ended up using someone else's photo as a reference, but the real question was, did he change it up enough to?
So it's exactly that. It's exactly.
So I would compare it more to that than.
At least that's what I got from it. It was more like the Shepard Fairey one. Like, you took a picture, you kind of photoshopped it, and then kind of made it into something else.
And it became an iconic image, right? And then and it's like, hey, I was the original photographer of
But see, that's the thing with Prince. That was the iconic silhouette picture of Prince that, you know, everybody knows. And it was, you know, Warhol is the painter, but really the dude took the picture was like, you know, that's my shit. I took that picture. Like,
right. And then Warhol probably didn't even work on the actual piece of artwork.
Exactly.
Because it was probably someone else entirely too.
Just came out and sold it as such. So, man, definitely. So you just getting off work?
No. I had to meet up with some people. So
I'll
say that. I mean, I was supposed to work tonight at midnight, but now I don't have to show up. So I was like, so I'm like on, I guess, like kind of like a standby situation. If they need more hands, then they'll call me in because they'll know I'll be up because of his drunken chat, son.
They watch us on the big screen.
I was here for an hour, so you showed up at a good time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Aaron was helping Adam with Project Pegasus. Man, he was supposed to hold the grip, to hold the mic.
I may or may not have done that before. So. We
need some background info. We need some background sound. Hey,
just always wear a raincoat when you're doing that kind of work.
Like, whoa.
So yeah, that Kamala Khan series got nominated for an Emmy, and the category is including Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series.
Wait, hasn't it been over for over a year? Like,
at least
this thing didn't hit the reward cycle last year.
You would have thought.
You can watch it. It's on there, right?
Yeah.
But I've never rewatched it. As much as I love her, I never.
Oh wait, yeah, you were the biggest Miss Marvel fan I knew.
It wasn't good. I mean, it was good, but it was like not rewatchable for me. You know what I mean? Like maybe the next season. I don't know.
That reminds me, I need to ask Rob what he thought of the She-Hulk series. Because
but the series out there that I just don't know about rewatching.
So you guys, before Lucas goes to the next slide, you guys know that there's been a lot of reports of a lot of empty theaters in a lot of places, but still reports of like shows selling out on certain movies. And I already saw the next slide, so I'm trying to get a jump up on this one. So they're reporting 125 million, but I'm hearing reports of a lot of empty theaters.
So who's buying these tickets?
Disney,
yeah.
They're buying their own tickets, man, to make their movie look good.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's promos. So they're giving away the tickets, right?
Yeah. But they've done it before, with other movies that weren't doing. There were other movies that haven't done very well, and Disney knew they got to make the appearance. So, the bad part is, what happened in China? Something happened in China. They pissed China off with this movie.
Oh, really?
And that's what I heard. That like they're not doing too good over there with this, which is bad because Disney relies very heavily on that Chinese money and that Chinese market. And if this thing gets either banned or doesn't get a lot of play over there, that's definitely bad for them.
I know we've covered this before, but Lucas, isn't there like a summertime period where they can't show American films?
Right, but that's why they released this right before spring, right? Well, it's in springtime. Okay. So we haven't officially hit summertime.
Oh, till the solstice.
21st, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possibly what it is? Is it kind of
So in an article published this week, Global Times, which is one of the Chinese freaking stateside joints, called out the Walt Disney Company for pushing political correctness with the casting of Halle Bailey as Ariel in A Little Mermaid. They claim Disney's decision to cast a person of color as the lead in A Little Mermaid seemingly was made to break stereotypes and promote equality, but so far the negative reaction outweighs the positive ones. This begs the question of whether Disney's political correctness actions are motivated by capital interest or a genuine concern for representation. So that's it.
I agree. They're pandering. They're pandering. Nobody asked for this.
Well, as somebody who keeps track of my my red kryptonite, I've noticed a lot of them being ixnayed, and it's like nobody cares about the gingers, so let's replace them, and that's basically what's going on. And
that's the thing. It's like nobody. I don't recall anybody wanting any remake of this cartoon, like at all. Like
right, well, but it's like they're trying to remake everything with different.
And they don't, and that's
changes to them, and it's pissing everybody off who's fans of original stuff. But
I just rather they re-released it.
Gingers are an endangered species, and if you keep taking them out of my movies and you're not doing your part to increase the ginger population, well, then you're just part of the genocide. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Now, the Global Times article began by discussing recently reported pre-sales in China for The Little Mermaid. It notes that the ticket site Maoyan, which is like, I forget what our counterpart is called. It's not IMDb. I forget what it's called. It reported that the film had only sold 85,000 tickets worth of tickets as of Thursday. 85,000. That's freaking nuts. When you expect most of your revenue to come from like China or India, and you only sold like 85,000. Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And look, this movie's been surrounded with controversy, just getting made. You already knew people were against it before it even hit theaters. They were already spoken. They were like, I'm not spending my money on that. Like, there's a lot of people who are waiting for this thing to hit Disney Plus because Disney Plus is cheaper than a night out of the movies.
Oh.
They're willing to wait that 3 months or, honestly, how long? Let's right now. Let's take note of the date. Today is 5/27.
That's my thing, though. What made them think
what day is this going to hit Disney Plus? Is the question.
But that's my thing.
For free for everyone, or for a special charge?
No, for everyone.
Like
Ant-Man just hit.
Right. What was that?
Wait, they did that before, right? They charged us up
for Black Widow.
Black Widow.
That was also when the theaters were shut down. But
Black Widow. Yeah. What else was it? It was 2 movies.
I don't know. Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, Mulan.
Wonder Woman 84 that came out, but I think either they charged us or it was free. I forget which one that was.
So
but that's what I mean. Like, why
Wonder
would
Woman
they
80
not just
80
like?
yeah.
Why didn't they just like put this on Disney Plus? Like, why did it have to go to the movies? What made them
Because
think?
they wanted the actress to get the same thing that ScarJo wanted. Basically, the box office take. They were hoping and pushing for a box office that makes the actress and everybody involved in the movie who's on a contract to make money off of it, make their money before it hits DVD sales and digital sales and all the other stuff. And what they're going to do is they're going to merchandise some stuff. Like right now, they got Happy Meals, and my son got her Happy Meal toy, and he's like, "Oh, I got the Little Mermaid." I'm like, "Sorry, I can't do nothing about that, man."
I can't get the boys one. Like, why I gotta get the girls one?
Well, because that's all they gave. It's all Little Mermaid. They're like, boys and girls are going to get this now. So there is no boys toy right now. So if you're one of those parents that likes to get your son a Happy Meal toy and you go there for the boys toy, well, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Ain't going to be no boy.
Yeah, give me the lobster.
Yeah, and then you just got to wait until until they drop another Pokemon thing, and then you got to fight adults for it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and somebody was making a joke in the chat that the fish is a Taiwanese fish. So that's really why it's like, no.
No comment.
Damn.
But we'll see, man. Like, look, they're gonna do everything they can to try to make merchandising on the back end, so the actress makes a paycheck. She's already been in a Disney movie. She's gonna be fine.
I'm not worried about her.
I'm just one of those Disney movies that everybody will not even remember any of this damn controversy and this the crazy lady with the Disney VHS collection still gonna buy this thing on VHS to play once. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like they could have saved themselves all this drama and just went straight to the Disney Plus with it.
But here's the thing: do you see this being on Disney Plus before July 1st?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I just think she signed a bad contract, or she was in a Disney contract where she didn't have a choice.
I'm
and
sure
they're just trying to be good. They know they got over on her, and they're just like, "Oh well, hey, we can't pay you. Sorry, your movie didn't do too well."
Well,
so,
I mean, it's Hollywood. She should have known that when they told Dave.
And that's
Chappelle,
what I mean. That's why
they told Dave Chappelle he made too much money, and that's why they couldn't pay him.
Oh wow!
But see, that's what I mean. Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
okay, well then give me my show. Then. That's the way I look at it.
I made too much, and you can't pay me. Like,
it's like, why do we have all these advertisers? Like, what's the point of that? Yeah. But I mean, this is her first lead acting role.
Yeah.
But still, she's got a Disney.
Yeah, she's under contract with Disney. Like,
yeah, she's
just throw her into something else
with Disney. Whoever's representing her is going to get her so much fucking work after this.
Yeah, she's good.
She's going to do just fine acting career wise. But look, I'm just going to say this as a man who loves his redheads, and my wife who loved this Ariel because this was representation for her because there wasn't a whole lot of redhead representation outside of Mary Jane and the comic book world that we have, where Stan Lee obviously had the same redheaded kryptonite obsession that I do. But yeah, that's notwithstanding. Redheads are going away, and a lot of redhead roles have been replaced and changed, and it's something that redhead people notice, but other people don't, because they're trying to say, oh yeah, but we're making a spot for other people to be included instead of making a new story. This is what we want. We want new content that shows everybody included, like you all want, and represented, or whatever, but do it naturally and do it with a good story to tell and a reason for things to be there, not to just take other existing stories and be like, we're changing it just to re-release it again.
Right, but there's
they should have probably went with the old Grimm story. That shit was fucking gory, and the chick dies at the end.
But there's no more originality anymore, right? Because people still want that nostalgia feeling as well too. If it's too extremely different, then no one wants to watch it. Right?
They already said fuck nostalgia when you start changing up the fucking characters. They said fuck your nostalgia. All right, we're trying to freaking pull new heartstrings. Well, you're fucking making me dead inside, Disney. You're making me dead inside.
Even Comics Main says lazy content.
Yeah.
But, thankfully, the people who are watching the show are going to create a bunch of good content. We're going to be able to review it later on and be like, they were watching Drunken Chat.
All right, last news item that I can talk to. Madden Oh, Will Ferrell is in early talks to be Madden in a new film to be directed for Amazon Prime by David O. Russell. What do you guys think about that? I mean, look, freaking Madden, he was the man back in the day when it came to freaking games.
I don't know, man. Will Ferrell can pretty much, he's the man of 1,000 faces now. And I'm sure that they can come up with anything they can do to make him look more like John Madden, including the fat suit and some other things. Or Will Ferrell will actually put on the weight and make it legit. He'll be like, fuck you, Brendan Fraser.
like is he going to be like serious or be kind of doofy with it? I don't think you want to make him.
I do not want a fucking serious Will Ferrell playing Matt.
If Will's involved in it, it might be like. Do you remember his role in the Lego Movie?
Oh yeah.
He's serious. He's a dad role in that one where but he can still crack a joke and be funny. It's like, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's
John Madden, being John Madden, where he's calling the shots and you have to rewind yourself to the era of listening to John Madden actually call plays on television, and then you'd be like, "Oh wow, it probably will hit."
And that's what I'm saying. I wonder how he's going to play him because he said funny stuff, but he didn't. It wasn't like he was trying to be funny. Like it was like.
I mean, there's been movies where he gets like super angry and stuff like that, and he pulls that off. So, I mean, but that's the real challenge of an actor, right?
Step Brothers when he's burying his brother.
Yeah. So I mean, to be typecasted into just doing comedy movies and then taking on like a drama movie, but then at the same time, they just had that Jordan film, or the Nike film, no punk. The Nike film or whatever. So I mean, that's probably what Hollywood wants to go down that road.
The Gator.
That's right.
Too much movie content. You need to just start playing VR. All right.
How are we supposed to, in VR, can we really do the same thing we're doing right here? Like, can I make funny quotes from the other guys and have the chat pick it up and leave a chat comment and be like, like, Gator don't play no shit.
No, you can't troll people, but apparently you can somehow sexually assault them. Apparently that's a fucking thing.
Oh, well. You can also get banned on Twitter by saying, I hope you get hit by a bus.
Don't put your Nazi, everybody. Don't put your
bullying.
Apparently, it's hate speech and causing somebody threatening harm to somebody to tell them that I hope you get hit by a bus.
But you can tell them you'll beat their ass.
Yeah, apparently you can threaten the shit out of them everywhere else.
Beat your ass next time I see you. I'm gonna
commit jihad against you, but can't tell you to step out.
You said jihad. We're gonna shut down your site.
No,
we're never getting monetized now at this point.
Yeah, they're getting monetized for saying jihad.
Yeah. So once again, I also ran over the Therapy research stuff. Of course, well, surprisingly, that Amazing Spider-Man number 26, that spoiler, is still the top freaking spot, right? So this is coming out Wednesday. A lot of retailers already got their copies because, of course, it's already going to be the Memorial Day, so USPS is going to be slow. So I got mine. It's like, all right, I still don't understand what the fuck is going on, but people are still buying this fucking thing. The Amazing Spider-Man number 300, the facsimile, that's still doing well. That was number 2. The Detective Comics 1072, cover A by Evan Cagle. I'm not sure what that's about. I could have sworn I read it already, and I didn't see anything new, or maybe I'm mistaken, but apparently that's doing really well. The foil variant for the Incredible Hulk number 181. Then you got the Death of Venomverse number 2. Punisher number 12, which comes out not this week, but next week. Apparently he's dying, so I'm not sure what's going on with that one. Wonder Woman number 800, that's going to be the first appearance of Wonder Woman's daughter.
So wait. Is anybody reading the Batman detective stuff on the panel?
I kind of phased out when they established that who his friend Antonio was.
What?
His special friend that he trained with.
Oh, who, Bruce?
Yeah. Bruce?
Oh, they're making Bruce. They're making
Yeah.
Bruce. If you know what
Bruce
I mean.
all over Bruce's backside. Yeah, nah, I was
Oh
like, nah,
boy,
I'm
because
not.
I do remember that was the plan, and I think something about a VR session with Ghostmaker playing as Poison Ivy and Catwoman with Bruce making out with him, but it wasn't actually any of the girls. It was actually Ghostmaker.
Yeah.
So why is him and Ghostmaker kicking it? Now, hold on.
Well, that's because of the agenda over at DC, but I'm wondering if that's actually what's going on inside of the detective book. Because I saw something about that and I was like, oh, I'm not reading that shit anyway. So it's like, oh, whatever. But yeah, it was a very interesting scene. You see Batman making out with Catwoman and then making out with Poison Ivy. And then you see a shirtless Ghostmaker and a shirtless Bruce taking off VR goggles.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So what was the next? Wait, hold on. Go back
Did
to
you know?
so the Venom verse. That's Kid Venom.
Kid Venom, yeah. That's in the issue. That's in that issue there. That's
So
on that cover.
Is he from feudal Japan?
That's supposedly what he's from, as well as the Samurai Venom that was in the first issue.
Oh,
but
so
I'm wondering why they would do two of very similar things, where you have this young Japanese kid and then you have the samurai. Are they the same? Is this the Samurai Venom backstory that they're doing here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, no,
I'm not reading it because I am just over all the derivative Spider stuff that is not Peter Parker. Like, I know there's a bunch of Miles fans out there, but he's derivative. I really don't give two shits about him. They've just copied Peter's story and given it to Miles, basically, and almost every villain, every suit, everything except for a symbiote. So, and they actually did that in the Dark Ages in another universe just to kind of make it happen for people. So,
it still wasn't quite. It could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been. And there's just, if there was more originality in the derivatives of the Spider stuff, like I understand Venom, obviously he's a former villain and it's the suit, but it's like, then you had Carnage, and then they were like, the Bat family is really blowing up. Maybe we really need to expand this. So let's give the symbiote family, like a whole bunch of symbiotes, and then we're going to go from there. And then all of a sudden you got two Spider-Men. Black Cat was all of a sudden a part of it, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and spiraling out of control.
Now you got merge symbiotes now at this point,
and now you also got the Extremis Iron Man symbiote suit, and then you got the Annie Mae Parker from the Renew Your Vows, and Mary Jane wearing a suit. And
wait! You said there's an iron symbiote. You said from
yes, it's what they used during King in Black. They used Carnage. Infused with Extremis into an armor in order to break through with the black layer that was put around the Earth.
That's right.
And that eventually evolved into a plot hole. But there's like 3 different Carnages in places because he's in Deadpool, he's in the Iron Man stuff, and he's in Carnage, messing with Miles.
And I don't so much and that's kind of how I want the MCU to be, whereas any of these villains can pop up at any time. I don't want it to be like a set story necessarily, but I think that would help. But I mean, like, I don't mind those stories with Carnage or Venom, but they lost me on the Kate stuff, so it's hard for me to get back into it when
I did see Disney Plus just added Venom to the list, so I'll probably watch it here eventually. I haven't seen Venom.
Yeah, I did see that too.
I haven't seen
the second one
or the second one. I haven't seen the
first one. I haven't watched them straight through, so I'll definitely.
I've seen the first one, and so that made me decide to skip the second one.
Adam Haha has a question. Yep. Adam Haha has a question for you guys. Do people still care about Venom or no? I'm still waiting to see my Venom 3.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like, Noel can come back at any time in the comic books and make that book popular again.
Yeah.
I thought he was showing up on covers again.
He is showing up on covers again.
Okay.
And he's also showing up over in Image Comics as Vanish.
Oh yeah, because Otley went over there.
Yeah.
Stegman, Stegman Gates, yeah.
Yep. All right. Now for time for Did You Know? This is your Memorial Day version of Did You Know? grilling stats from an NFPA: 89,000 home fires started by grills each year on average. In July is the peak month of grill for fires, followed by May, June, and August. 16,000 patients in 2014 went to the ER because of injuries involving grills. 87 of those were thermal burns. And 75% of U.S. households own at least one outdoor barbecue grill or smoker, and gas grills contribute to the highest number of fires than any charcoal grill. So please, be careful with these freaking grills, because if you burn your freaking hands, you can't freaking turn the pages of your freaking favorite comic book. So please.
Don't blow your hand off.
And be careful with the fireworks.
Don't blow your hand off.
You know,
don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
Yeah, if you try and light a firework and you run away and it doesn't freaking light, don't freaking go back and then put your face in to see what the fuck is going on.
And again, if there's a bag on fire on your doorstep, don't put it out with your boots.
Leave it alone.
Put on your brand new shoes and then stomp on it.
Let it burn out.
It's poop.
He said poo.
All right, so we've run over.
Getting its feel on there, man. Jesus.
I
haven't done FOC yet, so I'll be doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, so we ran over some of these already. Hunger and Dust #1s, My Little Pony stuff. There's a Hunger and Dust #1 NLV 175.
IDW is under which one, Lunar or
where's that big dude putting his hand right now?
That's Image. Image is moving to Lunar. So I was going to ask you about that. Will Final Order Cutoff then become Sunday for Image then?
Yep.
Why was it a different day before?
It was Monday because it's Sunday. Diamond is Monday.
Distribution, yeah.
Diamond's Monday, and then when's Random House? Is that also Monday or is that Sunday too?
Sunday.
Okay.
Crazy enough. It is Sunday. There's your 1 in 100. Go to Chung.
Yeah, Liger Style saw it too. I wasn't the only one.
Jesus, look at dude's ears.
Did you see them? Go back. In Yugly. Look at that ear.
That's a big ass fucking ear.
You know, and I'm saying I got some fucking radar dishes my damn self, but goddamn, that dude is like
Andre the Giant size ears or something.
My old school Paul McCartney with some big ass ears.
Looks like some cauliflower ear too. Is he a boxer?
Know what they say about guys with big ears?
They don't listen.
Big earmuffs.
Spend a lot of money on Q-tips. Star Trek, there's your DS9 Dog of War, 1 in 50.
I like that.
Corgi collectors unite.
Ninja Turtles, Last Ronin Lost Day Special, 1 in 100. Arcade Kings #2, 1 in 10, Gibson. 1 in 25 by Burnett. Tenement, I explained this earlier. It's supposed to be a horror story written by Jeff Lemire, but they've explained who the main characters are. They explain where they live, but it hasn't explained what the heck is going on right now. So I can't really recommend this book right now yet. Black Cloak by Tula Lotte. Barner Orchard Tenement, 1 in 50. What's that name of that freaking psycho? Yeah. Jesus Christ. There's 1 in 100.
Stealing that N from Tenet.
Here for I Hate Fairland, there's a cover C by Momoko. Here's your Eric Powell. Mahfoud. Kingspawn 23 by Stevens. I don't know why that one dude in the middle looks like Batman. In fact, I don't look like Batman.
They stole the Dark Claw from the 90s, right?
It's Sword of Azrael.
I don't know. I feel like I like the concept, but I feel like they could do something to make it a little bit more interesting. But
I went to a GameStop earlier, and they had the Plague action figure for Spawn stuff.
Plague.
Yeah, remember when everyone was hyped on that stupid shit?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Astral Wizard? Walking Dead 65 by Stephanie Hans. Once again, it feels like I get the concept, but I feel like it should be just something missing.
That's the deluxe version, right? Where everything's in color now.
Uh huh.
Oh, it was always in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole series, the original series went all black and white the entire time, and then they're going back again and doing a deluxe version where it's colored.
Everything's color. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're smart, I guess you could technically, since everyone knows what all the keys are already, you could just buy the keys, right? But I doubt anyone cares. So
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on because I just got done watching whatever they had on Netflix for Walking Dead, and it looks like that's where it's a point where they're going to do this whole spinoff because now we found out that freaking Rick's alive and yada yada yada, so it should be interesting. Then I Hate Fairyland number 6. There's going to be a Momoko explicit.
Wait, you said you found out what?
So Rick's now alive. We now find out that Rick's alive. I mean, look, I'm way behind. I'm way.
Wait. Are you talking about in the books or are you talking about on the TV show?
On the TV show.
Wait, I thought the show was over.
No, man, they got another show coming up with Maggie and Negan going to New York.
They have like three spin-off shows off of the main series. They're ending the main series soon.
They've already shown that. What's the name of it? Dead Island or something like that?
I don't.
Wait.
Yeah, Remo.
Yep.
There's a new show already that's got Maggie and Negan going to New York City.
Just them two on their way.
Those two. Yes. Hi, I'm the guy who fucking bashed in your husband's and baby daddy's brains.
Dude.
And I'm here to help you save your kid again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. And it's crazy because I haven't watched the show since Everybody Loves Chris got her sister killed. You guys are not.
I
saw at the hospital.
Because I barely remember that. I barely
remember
at the
hospital and fucking.
So everybody dropped off when they started getting too much into the people killing people, right? I'm like, dude, I'm just here for the fucking zombies. All right, we got people over here killing people and doing all types of crazy shit. I'm not
just doing dumb shit, getting people killed. And I was like,
that show that people, like the Joker said, you take away their love, you take away their organization, and watch people turn on themselves. But it's the truth. Yeah. We all know it right now. If an EMP hit the United States and we were without a grid for a year, good luck, everybody else.
May it be ever in your favor.
Yeah, straight up Hunger Games, bro. Like Hunger Games for real.
Alien number 3, 1 in 25, Senkhan Yoon. There's a bunch of facsimiles that are going to be on FOC this week, including Amazing Spider-Man number 122, a bunch of second prints and third prints. One of them is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 25 by Romita Jr.
Why? Why is it going second print?
Because you have to make a homage every month.
No, but why a second printing of this book? There was more than enough leftover copies on shelves. They should not have had to worry about it. I think they're just doing things just to do them. But the fact that it's an Amazing Fantasy 15 swipe, I think is why.
No.
Yes.
Number 28, one has a 150. Then there's also a Warnick Gay Pride variant. Avengers number 1, second print, 1 in 25 by Derek Chu. And even though I really love his art, I don't think anybody's really buying any of these incentives from him right now.
Wasn't the first one already like a 1 in 100 version or 1 in 50, something like that?
And what's it doing right now?
I don't know.
40, 50 bucks. Carnage Reign,
like 35.
There it is.
There's a bunch of very stubborn fucking retailers. They're like, man, I paid $200 for that. Yeah, okay. Which one to star on that, buddy? Carnage Reigns Omega number 1, 1 to 10 by Julius Otha. It's a design variant.
And that's some of that Carnage suit extremis into an armor.
There's your Torrent Clark connecting variant.
Yeah, look at that.
Is that Iron Man connected with a Carnage joint?
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's Carnage connected to the Iron Man joint. It's like both of them got each other's like, oh boy.
Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider #1, second print, 1 in 25. Guardians of the Galaxy #2, second print, Marco Cicchetto.
And you know what? I ordered 3 copies of the Cicchetto cover the first time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm surprised that it's going back for a second print. And that they... Oh, actually, this is the A cover. There was another variant for issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. It was a really good Gamora cover. I think people fucking slept on it. I know I got 3 copies coming to my LCS. So I was like, hey, you can get one of these on the shelf today. Order me some. Like, but no, issue 2 had another one. But this Marco Cicchetto cover, I'm fairly certain has been used before and is reused artwork. So they've reused it again now that a second print of this book. I'm pretty sure it was used during the Gamora series, her solo series.
Or at least something very similar, right?
Very similar, and I think it was another, Cicchetto cover. So let me look this up.
I'm just trying to figure out why she's wearing knee pads and boot heels.
Well, we know why the knee pads if she's around Star-Lord.
Freaking don't hold a fucking machete to my fucking neck. Asking me for a good time. I don't know what the fuck you going on. Daredevil and Echo #2, David Mack. And pay attention to this cover because this style by David Mack will be coming up later. Silk #2, 1 in 25 by Sawi. Or is it Sawi? Deadpool #8, Lopez variant.
There was a similar Deadpool cover like that too before, right, Ultra?
I'm looking at the Cicchetto one. Hold on, what?
There's a similar the Deadpool cover on the left. There's a similar one to that. What series is that? Before they started the Marvel Legacy, I want to say.
Maybe of him getting a whole bunch of stuff thrown at him. That happens.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not Gamora #1. This thing's slow.
While he's figuring that out, Incredible Hulk #181, facsimile edition foil. I will remind the retailers in here that it is not the price that you see on the cover is not the price that you're going to pay. There are no discounts for these foils. So as you're pricing it out for your customers, just remember that.
I expect a bunch of damages on those.
Foils have actually been pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But once again, it's PRH, so we'll see if they end up fucking it up.
You can get someone's like giant fingerprints, like handprint on there or something like that.
Sure enough. She-Hulk #14, 1 in 50. There's a Derek Chew Virgin, which is the one on the right.
I've been liking a lot of the Derek Chew covers. I mean, I'm not buying them all, but
the problem is that there's too many, so I'm fatigued with them. Silk #2. There's a Ronnie Jones, which is the one on the right, and then the one on the left is Dave Johnson. I think we already covered the Sawi. Silver Surfer Ghostlight #5. Star Wars Darth Vader Black, White, Red #3.
I like that.
By Del Mundo.
Yeah.
Not bad. Then there's a Cornero variant, and then the one on the right is the 1 in 25.
The first cover should have been the 1 in 25.
I know, right?
Again, art direction. Who's in charge of editorial over here?
Everyone gets a copy. You get a copy.
You know what? I bet you ChatGPT runs their art direction department.
Or Casada, same difference, right? At this point.
Dr. Afra, number 33, Jung Jun Yoon.
Not one of his best.
No.
That was phoned in. Let's be honest. That was the phoned in Yoon.
Because you weren't going to beat this one.
Well, it was like, oh, I'm gonna lay out a bunch of action figures and then recreate this. Oh, I gotta turn it in. That's what it looks like, right?
Mirror image, copy
Yeah.
paste, copy paste. Yeah. But look, is this her first?
No, I don't think so.
And
Ayla Sakura.
yeah.
But it
doesn't say introducing in the corner there, or just featuring.
Featuring.
Featuring. So, but I like it.
Is that her first appearance?
What is her first appearance?
Let's see. See if I can find it real quick right here. The Atlas, Revenge of the Sith. She was in the Clones. She's had several Topps cards, apparently.
She's been in a lot of Dark Horse books, but has she been in a Marvel book is the question, Astro Wizard. You should know this by now. All of the Marvel homers are like, I don't care if they first appeared somewhere else. I want their first Marvel appearance. Ahsoka Tano, Darth Vader number 10, appearing in just like a helmet, isn't it? Or something like that.
Oh, the reflection, right? Or something.
Yeah,
where she's swimming, right? The one where she's swimming. In a flashback or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's in the Mace Windu, right?
I want to say, yeah, something like that. I don't even
look. All I know is that she's giving you that look. Like I told you, Lucas, to take out the motherfucking trash.
Dark Horse 19.
Yeah, Star Wars 19 from Dark Horse.
Star Wars 19.
Oops. Storm number 2, 125 by Maria Wolf. Terrible, Maria. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, it's terrible that the 1 in 25 by Torrin Clark blew away the 1 in 100 by Art Germ for issue 1.
Yeah. Too many.
Maria
again? Covers. No, this one is Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh.
Whom? I believe when you came in, you were talking about Void Rivals, who is doing the 1 in 100 for the cover that is redacted.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like her name's Caleb Doom, right? Oh, Kanan 2, Vision 2, Caleb Doom. I'm looking it up on Star Wars Fandom.
Kanan 2?
Yeah.
This film?
Kanan 2. She had a bunch of other appearances, like in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, but that's Dark Horse, right?
So that's not her name right here on the cover.
No. So she was appearing to a Vision, to Caleb Doom, in Kanan 2.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I think that's her first Marvel book.
Well, Drunken Sharks, you know what to do with Kanan 2 now.
I mean, you should have been picking them up already, right? If you're picking up once.
Well, I mean, they're just going to start listing them with this first appearance listed.
Oh, yeah. First Marvel appearance. First Marvel appearance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't care what her first appearance was. I just like this cover, so I'm gonna get a couple.
It's okay. You can say you've got a Captain Kirk fetish thing going on. You like blue women. It's cool. Nobody's judging.
Yeah, I can like blue women. I just won't get caught freaking kissing another black woman on screen, just for the lulz. And then, what was it, like 30 times he did it just to make sure that they ran out of freaking tape, so they had to use the footage? Something crazy like that.
Who did this now? What are we talking about?
He's talking about Shatner kissing the horn.
Very good.
I was just making a reference how Shatner's character Kirk likes the blue ladies.
You love him, don't you?
Yeah, he does.
Thor number 35, Pepe Larraz, Ultimate Last Look.
So this is the last time we're going to see. I got to admit, the Ultimate Thor was pretty badass looking, but it was mostly the hammer. The fact that the hammer was like monstrous compared to Mjolnir of the mainstream Marvel.
Is his foot in that dude's ear?
Looks like it. Or on his
Jesus.
neck.
Yeah. It looks like his knee is in his ear.
And is that like a bunch of like other creatures coming out the top of his skull?
It looks like
It looks like
doesn't
out of his asshole. I don't know what
That was God of War.
It's a headpiece, right?
Or did Thor shove in a bunch of creatures in there?
It's his minions that he like stuffed
I'm
back
going
into
to
his
shove
head.
these things so far up your ass, they're going to fly out your skull. Oh.
And that's why we're never monetized. X-Men before X-Men
'Cause we
before
do
Fall
content,
Heralds
yes.
of Apocalypse #1. So this one is going to be interesting because this is supposed to be what was going on with Arakko before they actually combined with Krakoa and during like those weird wars and everything. So there's going to be new characters. There's got to be new characters at least during this whole storyline. I don't know necessarily during this issue, but they've got to introduce because they've talked about like this person, that person, but those persons don't actually show up.
So what's that? What was that Marvel book with Mickey Mouse on the cover? Was that Marvel 1000? That had the two Disney
I don't
variants, the
know.
black and white and the color Disney variants that were given away.
Oh,
Certain
during D23.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your
Yeah, that was. I want to say that was Marvel 1000.
Okay. Well, that's their first appearance. And what this actually is, the Heralds of Apocalypse, is all about the first horsemen that made their first appearance, Marvel 1000, and then showed up during the Ten of Swords event. And of course, there's the guy Death who danced with Storm, and Storm killed Death. I thought that was amazing. Lots of good storytelling to be had there, but this is the original Horseman. So we're going to see this. It's a pretty cool story. We're going to find out some of the origin of his wife Genesis and how she got the helmet. So X-Men 12 still paying off. 3 printings. Free comic book day had a Genesis, Apocalypse's wife, had 3 first appearances, and this is something I covered a long time ago. They had the cameo in Free Comic Book Day. They had another cameo somewhere in the build up to Ten of Swords, and then they showed her finally and revealed who she was in X-Men 12. And that's the one that also has the Summoner and the red second printing, and then the third printing with the goofy looking text. It's also the first appearance of a lot of other people, like the White Sword, who's coming back. If you read X-Men Red, the dude Johnny Ironside, who showed up in the Storm and the Sinister event book, his first appearance is in that Sins of Sinister book, but apparently he's one of the guys in the White Sword's army. So I'm wondering if he actually appeared in one of the previous books, and I haven't seen him yet. And just nobody's caught on to the fact that he's back there from all the way back at X-Men 12. So X-Men 12 is the first appearance of the White Sword, who this guy Johnny Ironside is one of the 99 warriors that the White Sword fought. So lots of backstory, but I'm really excited about this just because you guys know I'm an X-Men nerd, and it's Apocalypse.
I need to find my X-Men 12 copies. I think I still have them.
That was a pretty big spec book, and
Yeah.
And I know everybody's still liking that book a lot, but I'm pretty sure that book went second print and third print for a reason, because it sold, probably sold better than a lot of the other X books around. But Ten of Swords, hit or miss.
Yeah.
I remember it was a pretty warm book, that High Summoner book. It was
because that was like right after the King in Black event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, High Summoner was like something that people were chasing that book for because he's on the cover, and he was a pretty cool character or whatever. But I like that book for Genesis more than anything. I was like, oh no, Apocalypse is boo, bro. Like, forget this dweeb. He gets murked anyway.
Yeah, and
he didn't make it out of 10 of Swords. But
yeah, and then High Silver's first appearance was like what in the Wolverine series? I don't remember what issue.
No. He actually it was in that X book.
That's why I went to second print and everybody. But then by that time, the second print, nobody was really tripping off of it.
Oh, okay.
And then somehow it did a third print, and I don't know, but I, again, if you're into the Heralds of Apocalypse and you like the first version of these guys, then you're after that Marvel Comics 1000. You're going to try to chase it down variants that might have had them in it. But Pepe Larraz's God, look at that A cover, bro. He always does people looking down.
Yeah.
Like from a perspective.
We are too good for you. Get the fuck out of my face. All right, moving on. Sweetie Candy Vigilante, number 6, 1 in 10.
No.
And this is, I guess, like a Garbage Pail Kids homage.
Yeah.
Garbage Pail Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah.
Immediately, no.
I wish I had your taste, Ultra. I gotta get this one. Gotta get
it. No, man.
And yeah. There's a version of this one as well out there. So
I could care less.
Hard no.
Wesley Snipes, The Exiled. It's
this one's kind of funny.
I like it, but it's like
They Live, man. It's one of the best movies ever. I just gotta say that.
I am definitely not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, I can't do this.
But I mean, isn't that what he's just trying to hit to? Is all the nostalgia of all the different '80s films? Because if you're following a Wesley Snipes book, anyways, right? It's kind of like he's targeting his audience.
Yep.
Or whoever's like doing the art design stuff for it.
Right. But I would rather they do swipes of Wesley Snipes movies.
Yeah. Didn't they do that on the first one? The first issue?
They did to Terminator.
Well, they did like several movies though, I thought.
Yeah, they did several movies, include Mario Brothers. I was like, I barely remember that this is a Wesley Snipes thing. Ninja Funk one shot number 1. Bolo's Playground 1 in 25. According to our dear friend Bolo, Mr. Bolo, he indicated that there's a crossover from some other publisher in this joint. So everybody should pony up and spend their money on this thing.
I'm not reading it.
Is a half moon a hint?
It's like a sickle, or is that like a?
Is it still a moon?
Is it a
no hammer.
Pickleball.
I was thinking Sailor Moon, but I mean I don't know for sure.
If it was Sailor Moon, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Manny, the comic collector, may be right. I think the X-Men 12 was his first cover. Everybody was bugging out that he hadn't been on a cover in like 10 issues or something.
Okay, yeah, X-Men 2. That's what I was thinking. Because there's that ratio that has that Wolverine cover.
Red Kryptonite.
So yeah, Aaron, you're right.
What? I was right about something? Oh,
well, I mean, no, I'm saying that you look at it, whatever her wand for a Sailor Moon. I don't know if I can bring it up. And it looks exactly like it.
Oh boy.
I mean, I don't know for sure if that's the same one, but I mean that's what it reminded me of.
Looks very close.
So it's confirmed. Void Ravels is Sailor Moon.
Oh, it is confirmed?
We just confirmed it.
Nice.
Heatseeker Gun Honey Series number 1, Art Germ Virgin.
No.
Crack the code.
No, not at all. Not buying it. Especially not with that right there. Look at that.
Yeah, covered.
I hope you got a big trunk because I'm gonna put my bike in it.
Redhead, big back, without a hand or a gun.
Because that's the best way to aim, right? When you're shooting.
I mean, are the black bars going to be on this one for real?
Whoa.
Cover E Carafa. The reason why we do this at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, that sells. Let's just be honest. And look,
If you want,
how they're going to get you to buy books. If they're going to get you to buy the hard case books like this. I mean, Gun Honey, we made Gun Honey famous. I'm sure we could do it with this one too.
Yeah, come back and give us some copies.
You see the Adam Hughes cover though, right?
Did we get the Adam Hughes?
No, I was just making a reference to the Gun Honey cover because
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember if I got that.
The Adam Hughes cover went like foil and gold and all
that's right.
3 prints and then like a store exclusive Virgin and whatever else.
I remember that one though.
Yeah,
they went all out with that one, and no one still can tell me what's in the book because I for surely never read the book.
Oh, well, she's
a spy, assassin.
She's an assassin. Well, they
like to do it naked.
She's a weapon fence. Like if you need a weapon in a place like you're not supposed to have weapons, like sporting events,
she can pull it out of her hoo-ha.
She'll make sure that the temporal displacement of her hoo-ha in the men's bathroom, so you can pull it from the toilet.
I got you. She's got deep.
An assassination VIP you're supposed to watch.
She's got deep ties to the game.
Yeah.
She makes the game, man. Like, what the fuck,
Wow. So that gun she has in her hand, she had stashed.
Yeah, When they put the handcuffs on her, she didn't have that gun anywhere close. All of a sudden.
So Snoop Dogg used to have her number back in the day.
She got them deep pockets.
You remember that image of Gal Gadot holding the sword as Wonder Woman? She's holding it behind her in her dress, and then everybody figured out the image was the sword went directly between her butt cheeks, and she was clutching the sword to hold it there. Same thing with her and the guns, but only in the front butt.
Wow. They really made it look. I mean, the book is about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the only reasonable. That's the only reasonable thing you can think of, because 1 minute she's just there, literally butt naked, all of a sudden a gun comes out of nowhere.
It's kind of like Natasha when she was interrogating the dude in the first Avengers movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm interrogating him. He's about to give me everything right now. She's fucking tied up in a chair and her hands on her back.
A freaky horror movie to watch with your love your wife or your girlfriend is Gerald's Game, where she's they decide to play a little sexy time game, and he chains her to the freaking bed, but then he passes out from a heart attack.
Oh yeah, what was that movie called?
Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
He passed out from a heart attack, or he died?
No, he died
from a heart attack. Yeah,
and she's stuck in there, handcuffed to the bed.
Oh man.
Yep. Right on top of her too.
Yeah.
And nobody's around till the weekend. Ninja Funk one shot number 1. Bolo's Playground, cover C. Quintana. Dune House Harkonnen, cover A by Swanland. Wild's End number 1, 150 by Eddie Lee.
Oh, they
tentacles.
They combine 2 things, right? Dog cover and tentacles. So that means it's automatically going to sell, right?
Sell out.
Well, who's going to buy this shit?
Not me.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the title is, and you just said it too, which is the
Wild. And it sounds like an 8th grade freaking reading assignment. Well, it's an actual comic book, so. Got a dog in a sailor's uniform. Awesome. Bad Girl by Scout Comics, which is an adaptation of, like a second part to Bad Boy.
Oh, for the Good Boy?
Good Boy.
Yeah. Good Boy, yep. And this is part 2.
Is it Garrett Gunn?
This is the cover B.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are ash cans?
Yes. Deep Dark, number 4. forget what this is a homage to, but it's like a Silver Surfer cover. Maybe by Delano, I want to say. Red Zone, AWA by Raza.
Like the video game, Red Zone.
Yeah.
Or is it just like something random?
I think it's something random.
Okay.
All right, now for stuff that's coming out this coming week. Gargoyles, Perillo. Vampirilla, Perillo.
Hmm.
That Power Girl #1 art germ.
I was gonna say this book's been out like for every week for like the last month.
Yeah. And don't forget that there's a foil for this one. This is the Lotte.
It's like Little Kim.
Yeah, I don't really like this cover.
The Milestone, Icon, and Hardware.
Oh, Green Lantern homage. Oh, DC still doing the Marvel homages. Fun.
Here's #3, Raza. Deadpool #7. Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. Jen Bartel, foil.
That might be dope.
Rocketeers by Adam Hughes. Star Trek 2023 Annual #1, Discovery.
Discovery is so strange.
Yeah, and this one is a one. Yeah, this one. Hey, there you go, a little blue lady in the back. Oh.
Discovery is strange. That sounds like me when I was single. You know what I mean?
I don't go
I was a
nowhere
weekend
without
mission,
no blue girls out there.
That was a weekend mission right there. Discovery of some strange.
Look at the blue
We're
lady. Excited
going
about
out
her.
to
Like,
find
is that Captain
something
Kirk up there?
new.
Oh, snap.
Every weekend, we're going to find something new. You feel me? We're gonna go get something. So, Discovery is some strange. Now, on that note, I gotta have it. where is it at? Is this a new show or is this a book?
This
It's a
is
book
Star
coming
Trek.
out this month.
This is an annual. I will say it's already sold out at Midtown.
How should I know?
So yeah, and it was at like $90 in Midtown. So if you go to these other sites like and eBay, it's already like 130, 140. So,
damn.
Wait,
Was
are
it
you buying it
$90?
for the? Are you buying it for the title more than for the cover?
Yeah, I'm buying it for the title.
Just buy the A or B cover or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm buying Discovery is some strange.
I mean, I'm sure you want the big like trade dress on there with that title, like or subtitle written. Yeah,
I want that shit on the coffee table so you see it. They're gonna be
so there is a 1 in 25 of this that has a trade dress. That one's out there. That one is available. But then this one is the 1 in 50 that is a version. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to find at a good price. And the reason why I'm honing in on this is because the solicit does mention that there's going to be the discovery of some new strangers and new guest stars. So, Detective Comics #1072. Right there on the cover is the Cheshire Cat, who is her real name is like Lynn Harper, daughter of the Red Arrow. I want to say this. What the fuck his name is? I forget. I think whatever. Alan Harper, whatever the fuck the dude's name is. Her mother is also named Cheshire Cat and everything, but all across the DC universe right now, they have been pushing this little girl hard, and it's not working because you guys don't know who the fuck she is, but she's out there, and like she's been in like Batman, she's been in freaking Catwoman, she's been in freaking Green Lantern. Here she is in Detective Comics again. They've been pushing her hard, and nobody still doesn't understand who she is. Of course, the Amazing Spider-Man spoiler is coming out that John Romita Jr. has actually been doing pretty rogue for me. There's this one. Okay, here we go. There's the 1/100 by Simone Bianchi, and that 1/200 by Oliver Copel. And of course, that 1/25 by Laraz. Carnage number 13 by Scan. And that is it. That is all I have for you guys, ladies and gents. That was the not just the FLC, but the stuff that's coming out this week. Bingo Bongo done before 1:30.
And what's crazy is like a lot of those books, like this is the first time I'm like, if the story ain't good, I don't really want to chase the cover. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm like, before I'd be like, I'm gonna buy it, whatever. And it's not now. I'm like, man, nah. I'm just gonna buy that shit.
Yeah, so it looks like what happened is they pulled back on a lot of stuff, especially because it's the Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
So they're like, especially people going to be going on vacation. They're like,
But these are the books that are supposed to be good, and people are gonna forget, and not order, and then you're gonna come back on and be like, you should have ordered, but you went on vacation.
Yeah, except for Amazing Spider-Man number 26, especially that spoiler.
Yeah.
A lot of people already pre-ordered that shit already.
Yeah.
And then that cover A, I'm still not understanding why they ordered cover A's. I kept sounding out of that shit for some fucking reason. But that is what it is. Roman Curtis says, Big Remo, all I want to know is Ghost coming back next to save Tarek?
Man, you know what I'm saying? I haven't even been watching it, so I'm not sure, man. I can't answer that question. I'm not a Power. I don't really watch Power too tough anymore, man.
Is that Power?
Yeah, that's the show with his son. His son, remember after he died, then like his son took over.
With that used to be with Cuba Gooding Jr., right?
No. It's
no. I'm thinking
it's one with 50 Cent. It's with 50 Cent.
I can't get into Criminal Enterprise joints, man.
Yeah, I watched like the first few seasons and I fell off, man. I can't even front, man. I barely, man. I got to catch up on everything.
Yep. All right, that's all I got. Hey, Ultra, do you have anything before we get out of here?
I will have an FOC tomorrow.
Yep. Spec Matrix, right? Not Spec Matrix, excuse me, a Secret Variant.
Yep. Secret Variant.
Yep. What about you, Remo?
Man, your boy's about to get some rest. I mean, I've been getting my ass kicked at work lately, man. So I need to relax.
Put some dogs on the grill, some barbecues and shit.
Just chill, man. I might go out tomorrow. I'm gonna try and you know what I haven't had, man. It's like my wife always be trying to take me, and I haven't done it. But it's hot pot, so I'm gonna try and go get some hot pot tomorrow.
What the fuck is a hot pot?
It's like this big cauldron of spicy like soup, and you put like beef and like Kobe beef and all kinds of like whatever you want, man. It's like barbecue, all kinds of shit, man. It's like a big ass.
Sounds good.
You just cook it, tear it up, man. So I'm gonna go try and get some of that tomorrow.
Sounds good. What about you, Aaron? What you got going on this weekend, or what shows you got coming up?
So I will be on Modern Comic Mayhem tomorrow with Brian McClay for Beyond Wednesdays, and then my band's shooting a music video.
Really?
At 2 in the morning. We're also doing band practice at the same time.
2 for 1, right?
Yeah. It's a 2 for like. So we don't have like a practice space because like they all live on the north side and I live on the south side, which is like an hour apart.
Damn.
So,
I still can't get over that when we had our conversation.
It's just like Orlando, man. It takes an hour to get to Orlando from Orlando.
Yeah.
No joke.
That's crazy.
Yes. So we're renting a room
That's wild.
to practice, and then they have discounted hours from like 2 a.m. till 10 a.m. So yeah, so we're practicing for like 4 hours. It's been a minute since I think the last time we practiced was right before our last show.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, man. Freaking well, be careful with that, man. Freaking make sure you get some rest, some well needed rest, man, before you get to actually your real job that actually pays you. Shit.
Yeah, well, I'm off until Tuesday, so.
Yeah, same.
I swear to God, man, no matter how much time you got off, sometimes you ride back to work, man. Man, I need a nap, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm gonna squeeze in at least one nap this week, and I have to.
I'm too busy to take a nap at work.
God, you guys, look. Let me just say this again, because you guys know that my son just, kindergarten just ended today. We slept in, and it was the greatest feeling ever to wake up late and be like, "Kid, you hungry for breakfast?" And then after breakfast, if you want to go back to bed, you can.
Yeah, right.
And it's like you can lay down and take a nap. You can relax. Today was the first day I've been able to relax like that in a long fucking time.
Yeah, man.
It felt amazing. But he goes back to school in August already, so it's like, oh shit, we're out of time already.
All right, man. Well, we did a 3-hour freaking show. We got through most of the stuff we wanted to get through, and it's time for me to freaking take that one last freaking drink and freaking raid the refrigerator. And and
it's still early enough for me to make a run, so I'm gonna make a run right quick.
Sorry about that.
Peace.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody have a good and safe weekend. Stay away from those drug dealers that you don't know, because they're putting in all types of weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fucking natural from the. Hey, if you don't fucking.
If I don't know you, I ain't fucking with you.
Yeah, man. So too many people fucking sitting out, fucking passed out, standing up.
Don't turn the gas all the way on either. You know what I'm saying? Start slow and then turn it up.
Watch how much lighter fluid you're using.
Right.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Love y'all. Out.
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
As you guys know, it is Drunken